That's cool.
All right, and now we're live.
Oh man, that's all right.
Happening.
Yeah,
Guys, we just started the show without you, so if you're just joining, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Boom, we're live now. Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. I need to catch up on some rest. Catch up on some rest. Good evening, and welcome to the show. Welcome back to the Real Precious Network here on the Men's Forum, where we have a couple of videos to show you this evening. We're going to get into the Lindsay Clancy case. We have a few videos on a reporter, not a reporter, but I would say a content creator who actually had an opinion about the case, and I agree with her. Okay, but we'll get into that. A couple of other videos that we're going to show and just react to, and just give our, pretty much our evaluations of what we see in the behavior in these videos, because they do speak volumes, and a lot of it you do have to be able to see the behaviors and not necessarily the people, but sometimes it does affect the whole population. So we're going to get into it. So definitely hit the like button, share, subscribe, and get your popcorn. You guys doing okay?
Yes.
I already checked on y'all before we went live, but now we got to
do We're doing just fine. Oh man, that's funny.
Did y'all coordinate the blues?
Yep. Nah, it's completely what you call it. Coincidence. Yeah.
I actually had on a darker blue, and I changed it because the shirt kind of looked raggedy. So I was like, I don't want.
I had on a white undershirt, but it looked too YN-ish. I said, you know what?
Oh my goodness!
I'm too old to be hanging with the boys like that. You know.
So you both changed into the blue.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. All right, so we're gonna get into this video. Lindsay Clancy. I know you guys who are watching are pretty sure of what's going on, but if you are not, she unalived her 3 children, and now she is paralyzed from the waist down because she tried to jump over a balcony, I believe it was. And so I'm going to get into a video of what we're seeing online, social media. We all know that everybody has social media in their pocket. And I'm going to get into this first video and then play another video to follow the first video up. Okay?
An astounding show of support today for Lindsay Clancy. Hundreds of women, all dressed in pink, cheered the accused mom as she arrived in a police caravan for her murder trial.
Now, I don't know if you can see, but in the bottom right-hand corner is a GoFundMe that's almost $1 million. I believe it's $1 million. It's very small, but I believe it's almost $1 million.
That's $1 million. I see it up at the top.
Oh, at the top it says it? So, yeah.
It's over $1 million.
That was raised for her.
Supporters ran across the field to greet Lindsay. Some came with their babies. They held up heart hands during a silent rally for the mom who strangled her 3 young children, then jumped from the 2nd floor window, leaving her paralyzed for life.
Dang, the 2nd floor? I don't know why I thought it was higher.
It was a house, though. I believe it was a house, 2nd floor.
Buzz around here, guys.
She slit her wrist first, too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Did she?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Fox News legal analyst Chanley Painter, a former prosecutor, actually wore pink in her live report as she spoke to Lindsay's defense attorney, who was greeted with cheers.
Hey guys, what do you think of the support for Lindsay Clancy out here?
I have no words.
No words?
It's amazing.
It echoes last year's Free Karen Read campaign. Those supporters also wore pink. She was acquitted of murdering her cop boyfriend. The rally for Lindsay Clancy is not just in Plymouth, Massachusetts, where the trial is being held. There are gatherings across the USA.
Across the USA.
Today, including here in New York in Union Square. Actress Alyssa Milano today is joining the chorus of Lindsay Clancy's sympathizers. She revealed, "I stayed in a public psychiatric ward for 3 days after the birth of her son." But others are taking to social
But girl, your son is still here.
media to express shock over the display of support for 36-year-old Lindsay. Are people really cheering for someone who murdered her kids? 3 babies were strangled What? Today in court, the judge called up each juror one by one for a private conversation. It's not known what was discussed, but we do know that the jury saw Lindsay's army of supporters as they entered the courthouse. The lone witness today was a hospital chaplain who testified what Lindsay told her after her breathing tube was removed 8 days after she killed her children.
She alluded to having heard a voice, and the voice, according to Lindsay, told her that if she did not follow the command, neither she nor her children would be safe.
So, as you heard in the videos, that there is an outpouring of support for Lindsay. Now,
You
again,
got Team Fatty in the house.
I am not. Hey, Betty.
You got Team Fatty in the house.
Hi, thank you.
What's up, Patty? What's going on?
I have not been following this case because I got things to do. However, just from face value, a woman kills 3 children, and everyone keeps saying it's the husband's fault, it's the father's fault. I thought the man went away to the pharmacy or somewhere to the store, so I don't know how that is bringing him into it. But again, I am not following this case. There must be some facts, clues, and underground private investigators.
I can give you some context.
Please.
So she was journaling. Like she was writing, like somebody had did a video and they said she had wrote down all the medicine. She was taking like between like 8 to 10 medications.
Yep.
And she had wrote down every medication that she was taking. And also she was researching what is the best way to strangle somebody on her phone and her computer.
Jail.
And yeah, so like when we look at this, you know, like for one, why are they're wearing pink, and pink is for breast cancer, and they're cosplaying on a different, you know, subject. Yeah. And you know, and she thought this out because she told her husband to go get them something to eat or some coffee or something. And she strangled the kids with you know, the resistance bands, you know, you use in the gym. And I think the older kid was the last one because he seen the first 2, and he was the last one. He actually ran into another room to try to get away from her.
Down, right?
Yeah, she chased him down. And then, you know, after that, you know, I guess she called herself trying to, you know, end her life, and it didn't work. You know, and so, you know, that's the gist of what I've heard so far. You know, like I said, I'm not following it every day, but like somebody was reviewing it, and I was like, oh, let me see what this is about. And, you know, I sat and listened.
And so I came across, thank you, Leon, for that, because I didn't know all of the details. Like even with Arcane saying that, you know, she slit her wrist, I didn't even know that part. I knew, you know, the gist of what was going on. However, even in that video that I just showed that is playing across social media, they're saying in the video that it's not only happening in one state. There are women all over the country, okay, that is empathizing with Lindsay, and to me raises alarm to me.
Well, what's your alarm though? What alarm does it raise for you?
Because I'll tell you after we watch this video.
Oh, okay, some more. I mean, I could tell you what alarm it raises for me.
Yeah, man, go get your children. Go get your children. Go get your children, or don't have them.
That's a major alarm. The other alarm is that those women vote.
Yes,
Those women vote. I mean, our country is going to be decided by a lot of women who think this way, and it's really scary where we are as a population with the way people are thinking these days. It's crazy. So I think that's absolutely apeshit crazy. And you're right. These women are in charge of a lot of children. And let me tell you, I know your mother, but I think the number one abuser and killer of deleter of children are their mothers.
And it's
That's
getting
a
more
that's
and
a stat.
more
That's a
every
stat.
year. Yeah,
well,
like
this case right here is paramount for symbolizing. I mean, it screams we are doing this because we're under this pressure. We're on all of these medications. You know, someone writing down the medications that they take is not alarming to me because you got to keep track somehow, some way. But then when you take it further and you are now looking things up, you are now trying to find out how to, like, to me, I don't understand why that's not clear premeditation. You know, you're trying to figure out ways to get out of this. You know, the medicine is not working because for a lot of people who want to take their life, they start with, oh, well, how many Tylenols can I take? Or what can I get my hands on that's going to, you know, get the job done quicker? But for mothers, she had 3 children, and it's usually with women who have more than one child. And I'm not saying that women who only have one child can't do this and be capable of this, but it's usually women who have more than one child and they bite off more than they can chew.
yeah, and they actually the state that she lives in, they passed a law that you can delete your baby up to at 9 months.
What?
Yeah, like up to term.
Yeah, where's she at? Where's she at? What state she's in?
Massachusetts, I believe.
Massachusetts. Oh yeah, Massachusetts. Got it. It's yep.
So I saw this video as a follow-up, and this creator is showing a video of someone who works in the mental health sector, and this is what she has to say about this, and this makes it even more scary.
Of how women will do absolutely everything in their power to absolve other women of guilt. Look at this video from an actual licensed therapist.
Lindsay Clancy trial is going to be one of the most significant trials of your lifetime. We are all experiencing something completely unprecedented. Never before have we seen so many mothers and women rally behind somebody who confessed to killing her 3 children.
That's a problem. You're
Because
rallying and supporting a woman who said, I did it. I know men say a lot of times, like, okay, women got to be accountable. But it's like, come on. Like,
Yeah, but if you ain't accountable in the small things, it's not, you can't, if you're not even accountable in the small things, you're not going to be accountable in the big things either. That's where it starts. I mean, listen, it's not even an accountability issue. It is, but that's just a tip of the iceberg. I mean, it's a real tip of the, listen, we're in a country, in a baby deletion country. That's what we are. Millions and millions. You can't say you're desensitized just because of a 9-month period, right? And then, of course, we're in a single parent thing, which is added pressure. And there's a lot of women who might not want to delete their kids, but there's a lot of women on TikTok that make it clear they hate their children. There's a lot of women talking about how unsatisfied they are with raising their kids. And so, because they're doing it alone. And everybody's not fortunate. Like, some people have built-in structures that they can lean on, but I think most women don't. So, and I'm not,
the same women continue to have kids.
well, it's
That's
just like,
that's the part where it's just like, you
But
don't have this structure.
so when does common sense kick in? That's a, if you're already on this thing, listen, I hear you, but it's just like when a woman has a kid with a dude. The dude ain't shit. Just by having a kid doesn't make him into shit, right? He's not shit. He's never going to be shit, So they'll go to the next dude that ain't shit. But it's not just a woman, right? So it's once a person exposes themselves, I think it's a leap to think all of a sudden they're going to start being responsible. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes there's revelations, but it usually comes later in life, if it ever comes at all.
And I'm not saying that women do not experience postpartum depression, because they do.
They do.
However, there are therapists, there are services that you can get so that you are not alone. I think it first starts at home. I think that first men do need to recognize that this is a serious, clinically, mentally, something is wrong with a woman. That's where it starts, honestly.
When
Honestly,
you say men need to recognize, what do you mean by that?
you need to educate yourselves. You need
No, but what I'm saying, what is he going to do? Commit his wife? What is she? In this case, she's been telling her. No, in this case, men need to recognize. But even if he did recognize, what should he do? What could he do to quell her?
In a marriage, you're supposed to work together. So postpartum depression is a mental disability, honestly, for women who have children and are under a lot of emotional pressure. And so that's where fathers step up and take, some of the load off of her, maybe so she can go to a therapist. He steps in a lot of the physical ways, because she needs time or space or someone to speak to. Maybe get herself back together. A lot of women lose who they are, especially if you're having multiple children. You're losing yourself because you're taking care of children.
But I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I'm disagreeing with the recognition part. You're asking a dude, because people float through life, and whether they might not recognize a woman going through that, right?
But that's what I'm saying. If you get a woman pregnant, right? Just like
I gotta anticipate her going through postpartum depression.
Yes. You can anticipate her losing her life.
Yeah, I'm talking about after the baby is born.
Yes.
Right? I'll take care of you.
That's why it's called postpartum depression.
That's what I'm saying. So yeah. So most people are not clinicians. They're not going to be. Most people don't walk around saying, "My wife is going to have a baby." We were happy about having a baby, and all of a sudden, I got to worry about her being crazy after the baby is born. We need to know what the signs are, right? So he had the signs. Her husband had the signs, and he didn't do anything.
These are also things that are spoken about in these doctor's appointments when the woman goes every week as well. Those are also places that men should have their butts and seats and be educated.
I was just about to ask, like, what would be some, I don't have any children, so I don't know what that looks like. So what would be some signs, in your opinion, Precious? What would be some signs?
With one, not being connected to the child, mood swings all the time, not showing you any attention, not showing the child attention, neglecting the home, neglect altogether from themselves, from the child, from you, rage, anger, sadness. Those are all signs that a woman being very overwhelmed even at the smallest things of maybe even getting dressed or getting herself ready or getting the baby ready. It's a disconnection from, because you're carrying a child for 9 months, so your motherly instinct for some naturally kick in. But you do have some women who will let their child cry all night, and it's not registering to the mother that she needs to go over there and nurture the child. In her mind, she's like, get that child away from me. I don't want to hear it crying. somebody stop it. And so if she's not alone in this process, imagine the women who are alone and don't have anyone to say, okay,
which is a great deal of them. All right, so I understand. So the I mean, as a man who's been through the process twice with the wife, right, and what we had to go through, we didn't have, my wife didn't have that, right? She might have, but she was so attentive to the kids and everything else for what we had to go through to have. So maybe we dodged the bullet. But I can't say I would have recognized that right away that she has some mental issues that I gotta solve. I would like to say I'm that good of a guy would have picked that shit up, but I'm not so sure I would have.
You probably wouldn't have, because a lot of men don't, and it's okay to not know these things. Like, I think that sometimes there's this blame game of, well, I just had a baby and you need to, step in more and you need to do X, Y, and Z, when it could simply
right.
Babe, I just had a baby. My mind is off, my mood is off. I don't even want to hold the baby. Something is going on with me. I think women have to be honest with that. And I think men, you have to be more in tune. Like, our pain, you didn't go through it. So you wouldn't have seen the signs. Like, you know what I mean? You wouldn't have seen them. So you don't have the same
but I'm trying to tell you that if my wife went through it, I'm not so
you would
sure.
know. You would know because you have been married. You dwelled with her. You're married to her. You're one with her. You would have known. You would have known. You would have. It's not it's not subtle. It can seem subtle at first, but postpartum depression is not subtle for most. It's very loud. People suffer in silence. I think that women suffer in silence, and then you get the outpour of support, like what's going on for Lindsay, where it's just like, oh my God, I felt like this too, and it's like, girl, don't go to a Lindsay Clancy rally to say these things. Like, where have you been saying this to your therapist? Have you been saying this to your husband? Like, who else knows?
But she told her husband, though. Listen, in this case, though, I thought he knew, didn't he? He knew she was going through.
So he knows something, right? But in this case, you killed 3 children, and honestly, the signs probably were there for you to be on 8 medicines as a mother, as a functioning mother who would take care of 3 children and love a man. You have to know that you have to do things differently. You can't just take these supplements and these pills and think, oh, soon as I take this, it's going to fix all my problems. When
I was just about to say that, because I was watching a podcast where a doctor was actually talking about this. He said those types of medications, you have to at least take them 30 days before you can actually see like results. Like some medication works right away, but these types of medications, they take time to actually get into your system and actually where you can actually see the behavior change. What are you making tea over there?
He's cooking some Franken beans. He's opening some cans over there.
I'm just trying to enjoy the night. That's all. That's all. What I'm saying?
But you know how some medications work really fast. Like, for example, if you take like a water pill, for example, the water pill works right. It works. Listen, you think it don't work, and then 10 minutes later, you're like, oh, snap. I got to go to the bathroom. But the medication she was taking did not work like that. And they were explaining how she probably didn't give it enough time to actually figure out like what was working and what was not working. And so I think that played a big part in it. And and for the fact that the women are like sending her GoFundMe's, they're dressed in pink, like she got breast cancer, like that's disgusting.
I think I think that in all of this, everyone has to be honest. Like the woman has to be, she can't assume, oh, my husband is seeing the signs, he should help me. He should do something about it. He should automatically know what's going on. No, you have to be honest. And if he's really your husband and he's into you, yes, he's going to know. He's going to know. And so you have to work together to get through it. Because I don't think that postpartum, and you can't really put a time frame on it, but to allow it to get to a point where you feel like you don't have any control, and now you have to take 8 pills.
Well, listen, you know what? First of all, I think a doctor assigning 8 pills for people who have anything is malpractice. I think it's your body, the interactions alone is amazing.
How skinny she is?
No, well, that's number one. But number two is her husband. Here's where I think he's at fault. Some of the stuff that you're saying, because I think he knew she was going through something, and he wasn't naturally afraid to leave his kids with her, because the signs had to be there. Because the actual deletion was probably the last straw. There had to be some mishaps before. There had to be some dirty diapers. There had to be some long, crying spells that she didn't do anything about. She was just floating around in air. I think he's seen that. I think he saw it all. And I don't know if I read it. I think he tried to get her help. I'm not sure, but I think he did. It's not that easy to commit somebody. Right? You can't, to commit somebody into some institution. It's not that easy anymore. And so, but he has some blame, like you're saying. He should have been in tune, but he definitely should have known she was in trouble. And the fact that he didn't see that his kids were in trouble too, he's got to take a little bit of that, just a little bit.
It would worry me if my significant other was on 8 pills. And I didn't think twice about the kids being with her. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it didn't cross my mind, like, are we okay? I don't know. Look, it takes a lot for me to take it out of it.
Yeah, I'm a chemical engineer. I'm telling you, I'm not a chemist, but I worked with chemicals before. I mean, just putting stuff like that in your body, 8 pills is a lot. It's just a lot.
Yeah, I'd be afraid to take 2 at a time because because like you said, you don't know how everybody's body acts different, and it definitely gives you mood swings. And like you said, like how her husband don't know, or she wasn't talking about, hey, I'm on these medications, what do you think? Or, should we seek a second opinion or something? Like,
she had to be in some kind of brain fog all the time. I mean,
yeah. And I hate to say this.
Go ahead.
The less a woman talks, the less, you know what I mean? Like, look, she in her happy place. And now look where we are.
That's true.
Like, you know what I mean?
That one is true. If my wife stopped talking, I'm going to worry. She's got to get her 10,000 words in. She got to get her 10,000.
If we don't know what the behaviors were, how the medicine masked it. And so now we're on the other side, and it's like, I'm sure that the husband is going to be questioned, and probably, who knows if they might, I don't know. She confessed to doing it, so I don't even know if there is even a possibility of them questioning him. But I would love, when the dust settles, to hear what he has to say.
Well, he's remarried. He got remarried in 3 months. He got remarried in 3 months. He got a new wife. He's remarried.
So I thought this just happened.
No, this has been going on for a couple of years, right? This case, he's remarried. Are you serious?
He's remarried now. This is, I don't know when the kids. This case. I don't think this case is years old.
I think
right? So he got married 3 months after all of this. I believe. Oh, the case was for 2023. But okay, so maybe that's the misinterpretation. He got 3 months married close to the trial, right? It's been 2 years. Okay. What's the story about her? So some people in the audience know, but they keep saying on the social media he got remarried 3 months later. So maybe that's a lie.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm
maybe
not
that's
sure. Like I said, this is the first that I really heard about it, to be honest.
okay.
And I, it's
That was
wild.
something. Maybe that was something to disparage him. You know, if this happened in 2023, then okay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And it is not because we cannot hold women accountable. Many of us see ourselves in Lindsay. Many of us know that we could have been only one step away from doing some of those horrific things.
Don't
Okay, you hear what you're saying?
yeah, get out of
Because
here.
we experienced significant mental health issues after one of our children was born.
Oh,
And many of us know just how dark some of those thoughts get. So yeah, this is going to be one of the most significant trials
not done.
of your
What do you mean you can relate to her? What do you mean so many women have had the same thoughts? You guys are just openly saying you've had thoughts about your kids? No, that is not normal. That is absolutely not normal, and we should not normalize that. Lindsay Clancy confessed. Her husband said she did it. The prosecution said she did it. The defense says that she did it. The police said that she did it. But somehow, it is still everyone else's fault except for her. We would never do this to a man. We saw this with the Watts case. No one said, oh, he had bad mental health issues. Because it doesn't matter. Your kids.
Right.
Are we just seeing a trend of women admitting to having thoughts about unaliving their children and how this is somehow okay because they're postpartum? Not to mention, her youngest was, I believe, 8 months old. Postpartum psychosis usually happens within the first 3 weeks, but that's a whole other conversation. Watch the Hannah Spear video on it. Am I supposed to feel pity for her? Am I supposed to feel pity for women who think this way? What in the backwards is going on? This is so backwards where we've come to. And the fact that this woman has patience.
Yes, that's scary, man. I tell you, listen, it's just so many things. But anyway, so you got more video with this for the trial?
No.
Oh, okay. I mean, listen,
I
listen.
just
She's
wanted to bring it up because we know that there are more women than there are men. There are more women who have children, and it's sad that more women can't say it was it. More women can't hold space for the fact that yes, being a mom is overwhelming. However, I'm not going to unalive my children. If I need to get the help that I need to get to be better for my children, I'll do that. If I can't care for my children, I'll find alternative care for them. But to unalive them is wrong. And to show up to support someone who unalived children because you have felt the pressures of being a mom is also wrong. So I'm showing it to say that even in the first video, they say there are women across America.
of course.
And again, I'm not saying that women don't go through postpartum depression. But what I am saying is, if you know that it is something that can happen when you have a child, have your resources in order. Know where to go, know who to talk to, because to unalive 3 children and then come out of it like you're the face of I mean what exactly are these women supporting? What are they saying? You're the person who finally broke, and so now we're gonna all support you because we wanted to break as well.
I think we're conflating some things too, right? Because let's just say that the majority of women who go through postpartum, they don't delete their children, right? She has something they call psychosis, postpartum psychosis, which is a completely different, not completely different, but it's more intense, it's different. It's an actual clinical psychosis which is different than just postpartum depression. You know what I'm saying?
With
You
psychosis,
treat what you treat them different. You might know about it, but I've seen this psychiatrist talk about that. So they're going for psychosis for her, not just postpartum depression.
right?
That she has some kind of psychotic break. So here's my thing, and I always believe this. I think when another human takes a life from somebody else, it's not a leap to say that they're out of their right mind. I don't care who it is. It's not a leap. You know, it can't be used as a way to get out of, deletion or the M word. You know what I'm saying? Because you're slightly out of your mind if you do it. If you like to do it, that's a sickness. If you do it, if you do it other than by accident, you hit somebody, you didn't mean it. But if you take somebody's life at that moment, I don't think it's a leap to say that you were not in your right mind. So I'm just saying, so I don't have no sympathy for this woman. And because the way not only because of that, it's the way she did it. Because I saw a study saying to strangle even a baby, it took almost 7 to 8 minutes before the baby was completely out with the ropes. And so the older the kid is, probably the longer it took. So she turned the kids upside down so she didn't have to look in their face to do it. I mean, this is just diabolical. So even if she was possessed by a fictitious demon, we don't have an exorcist, she's got to go. Wherever she's got to go, and she needs to be there for the rest of her life. That's it. And all these crazy ass women out there we should. I don't know. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Definitely a danger to herself and to anybody else. So I don't see anything wrong with getting the mental help you need in isolation, for the rest of your life, because obviously you can't function in the free world, and they're not where there may or may not be another psychosis moment for you.
Yeah, it's just a bad situation, and I think the women of the United States out there, the feminists, the leftists, all of those women are really raising the alarm about who we have as the future of this country. Because of course, women, carry the votes in a lot of places. It's just crazy. It's absolutely nuts. But that's for my kids to deal with because I'm old.
Iceman Big Aaron says 8 pills. I will be conversing with several professionals about temporary relocation to a place that provides 24-hour supervision. Okay, that part. Because look, you taking your precaution with your pills, but I also have to take precaution with the family, the kids, and again, it's just you wish that you could kind of be a fly on the wall to see what the everyday looked like. Because I also heard some lawyers and trial therapists who were saying that they were saying she was fine the day before, she was fine 5 hours before, she was fine 3 hours before, but with the psychosis, they said it happens in a split of a second.
Oof.
I don't know. I think she used that as an excuse. Like a lot of the things she had planned out. Like she was writing things down. She was researching how these medications affected her. She was researching what was the best way she could take out her kids. Like I don't believe this medical situation that they're talking about. Like I think that she was tired of probably always we don't know how her husband was, but like maybe her husband probably wasn't doing what she thought he should be doing as far as kicking in and helping her when she needed help. And what's up, Coach Bird?
What's up, Coach? See, I don't know if she was working or not, if she was a stay-at-home mom. She was working too?
I think she was a nurse.
Oh, okay. Even the husband being a deadbeat husband still doesn't Still doesn't, you know. Listen, kids are a pain in the ass, but they still kids, man. You know what I'm saying? This whole notion that my kids are a pain in the ass,
It's
and I'm
dumb.
so overwhelmed that they got me to the point where I want to strangle them in the basement. That's just crazy.
Yes, dumb.
I mean, come on. I mean, just another excuse. Kids are meant to be pains in the ass. I mean, that's just what they are.
And
You know, so, I mean,
they're more worried about her than what actually happened to the kids. They're not talking about the kids. They're not talking about the father. They're not talking about the grandparents. This is an effect that's going to affect their entire family for the rest of their life.
oh yes, no doubt, man. So anyway, so there you go.
Good evening.
Hey, Precious.
Good evening.
Hey, fellas.
What's going on?
What's going on, Coach? What's happening, man?
Man, I don't know what I was. Listen, man.
We were talking about the female child murderer case. Excuse me, the M word case.
Yeah, man. Listen, man. I'll fight anybody over a kid. You know what I'm saying? I work with those. Oh man, I'll come in your house if you on some mess. Not only am I reporting you, I might push you down the steps. Especially if you hurting the child, or are you planning on hurting the child? Are you talking about that shit? I'm gonna report you, get you admitted if you're talking about it. But if you actually do it, I can fight. So I might just get behind you and put you to sleep. And I don't know, man. Yeah, leave them babies alone, man. I'll pay you right, man. Kids, they rambunctious. It's just part of the nature.
There's no doubt about it, man.
And fathers, I don't give a fuck how much you work. They excited when they see you come in the house. they crazy because mama been telling them shut up, sit down all day. Instead of giving them some organization, they take off your little funky shoes. Give them 15 minutes.
Oh, okay. This is another part of it. Okay.
So yeah, I did see this video, and when I saw this video, this is exactly the arguments that you're going to have surrounding this case. But this is in live. In living color.
They should be commended because they did.
I've had it with you.
Oh my God! They
And
should be
your
commended. They're going to
sexism
kill their
and
children. She's a murderer. These women are cheering.
I'm done.
These are man-hating women that are standing outside. This is what it's about. They think the husband did it. They're crazy. They've lost their mind.
Do you know why
they're waving for a murderer?
Do you know why the woman is in a wheelchair? Did you even notice that she's
Couldn't care less. She's a murderer.
Because she jumped out the window after this happened.
So she should have. I'd have pushed her. They say that.
He said I would have.
He said he would have pushed her.
Lindsay was in psychosis. I think these women are suffering from psychosis. They've been watching too many true crime Netflix dramas. This was a incredibly privileged woman, incredibly wealthy. She had a nanny, and she's still complaining that she needed help. She could not have got more help from the system that she already have received. This is a murderer who strangled her children one by one. One of the boys ran away, and she chased him down and killed him.
Lori Watkins.
What you just said was absolutely disgusting.
Thank you.
You should be ashamed.
What did he say that was disgusting? She unalived her kids.
That she's a feminist. This is a stinking feminist, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God.
And then it's the way what you just said is disgusting.
Of yourself, and you can hear that he's not. Okay?
Why? Because it's true.
You clearly don't care, so pipe down.
I don't care. And by the way, men watching this, if you have a woman sat next to you on the sofa who is defending this murderer, you got to think deeply about this. I've seen weddings.
So we need to have some empathy with.
No one's defending. We're supporting. What in the world?
Talk to your women and find out what are they thinking. They're defending this woman. It's
I don't think anybody's defending what she did, but you can have empathy for what she went through and how she. I know many women that this has happened to. No, they did not kill their children, but they also, what you failed to mention.
They should be commended because they did.
I've had it with you.
Oh my God. They should be commended. They're going to kill their children. She's a murderer. These women are cheering.
You know what? He should let her get her stupidity out so people could hear it. Okay.
Yeah.
I fault him for not letting her get it out. Sometimes you gotta let her get it out so we can know how crazy she is. But so he shouldn't have cut her off. But still, I mean, it's an absurd argument that she's trying to make. But he should have let her make it so everybody in the audience can hear how crazy it sounds. You know, that was a good one though, Precious. You know what? I heard about that clip, and I'm sorry I didn't see it myself, but women are crazy. White women are crazy, and I hate to say it, black women are crazy. And they all on the left. Now they're all on the liberal space, and they command so much power. If I was a young man, I'd be scared as hell because they're gonna take over and vote some stupid shit in office that you young idiots out there are gonna have to live with. You know, I'm serious. These women are just pure feelings. There's no logic to anything that they're saying. And it's all white man's fault.
And
It's all white man's fault. They conquered the world just to give it away to some girls.
They were the largest part of the population who were getting the benefits, and then it seems as though they flipped the script, started getting married. But a lot of them are married and they feel this way.
Yeah, but their husbands are the P word.
Yeah.
Their husbands are P words.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you something. If a woman projects this shit out in public, her husband's living a life of quiet desperation. Do you hear me?
Misery.
There's just no way that she's not the same way at home. And he's sitting around, deering his ass into an early goddamn grave. You know, and rightfully so for him because he's an idiot. I can't stand. I mean, you know what? I'm not even a tough guy.
He's an idiot.
So do you think that there are a lot of these couples that are together that probably shouldn't even be together? Because this is a prime example of, they say that the woman was wealthy, she had a nanny, you know, the husband probably worked hard. She reaped the benefits.
I didn't know she had a nanny. That was new. When my man said she had a nanny, that's even worse.
Yeah, that's even worse.
Yeah, and how many people have a nanny?
You ain't right.
She's just sitting around doing nothing.
Only thing you gotta do is nurture the kids. Teach them dumbass kids the A, B, C, D, E, F, G's. Take them to the swimming pool. You play T with your daughter. You teach her how to comb her hair. This is the dumb shit they be complaining about because the kids ain't getting none of this nurturing, none of it. And then he's out here working, come home. I get it. You know, I can't be too tired for my kids. I could never do that. Matter of fact, go outside and run around till you get dirty and come back. I don't know. Let them burn their energy off. It only take 15, 20 minutes. You go get a good bath. You go eat some food. You go lay your ass down. Simple. But people make it so hard like they can't balance that. You got money. You don't worry about bills. There's no way. Well, people are weak-minded today. But what are you thinking about? Are you looking at other Johnsons while he's at work? What are you thinking about where he come home, you stressing him out. You got a nanny cleaning up, probably behind your dumbass kids. Are you looking at your phone all day? Did you get a bad report on the job? What is going on to where, I never understood that. I would never be in favor of that. If you have a slow ass kid, just do your best to make sure the kid ain't going through what you go through.
It's so important for men before they marry any woman. I mean, the vetting process is one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make in your life. Is marrying. You know, they say a woman's making it's a big decision for her too. But nobody blames the woman for anything. Your marriage goes awry, it's your fault. She can't eat, it's your fault. The kids are not no house, is your fault. Everything that goes, you got to be prepared to know that woman is not just your fair weather partner. Now that women call men partners, it's over.
This shit's over.
Because it's funny. I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna shut up. I actually have a song about men don't want partners; they want wives. You know, someone, a covenant for life, right? That's not what a partner. A partner is a fair weather friend. You don't need to be married to have partners. The other one I have is for, I just have all these kind of videos because it just kind of gives me shit But I just tell you, it's just a bad situation all the way around. It really is. And you know what? Men have their faults, but I think that, I think women trump men. Our faults are, we're pretty much the same as we were since the Stone Age. I mean, there's no real innovation, no real changes of men since the beginning of time. Most women know what we want. Most women, and when I say the carnal shit that we want, most women, if I had a physical equation, men would be a constant. Women are the variables. Men are a constant because so I know women don't want to agree with this, but if it was a energy constant of physics, E equals MC squared, men are the C, which is a constant, and women are the mass.
What just happened?
He muted.
God muted me there.
He sure enough did. He sure enough did.
God muted me because I was going to go ahead and hit it. I'm going to be real quick. Women are the constant. Women control so much stuff because you guys are all over the place because you're the chaos. Men are the order. At least they're supposed to be. So we're predictable. We are absolutely predictable. But women, not so much, right? Not so much. And so
our differences shouldn't be something that is
exactly
hard. It shouldn't be something that we can get through in order to be one. However, in this society with social media, the differences is what people are going off of to try to fit in or try not to even go with the culture of, okay, let me be married or let me get into a relationship. And so with the dynamics today, the men are changing.
I think the men are defaulting to their natural state because they tried to change to appease women and it don't work. That's why women are walking around saying men ain't approaching me. Well, come on.
It's not going to work because men shouldn't be trying to appease women.
No. They don't. Yeah, they made a mistake because men always, because women wanted to be appeased. So if women wanted to be appeased, that's what men are going to do. I mean, come on. If women stop wanting to be appeased, so all I'm just trying to say is women made more changes over the last 6 decades than men. On the last 2 centuries than men. We won a couple of things from women. I don't know why people keep trying to make us complicated. We're not.
They do. They try to make us.
I don't think that men are complicated either. I just
okay, but okay.
I think that men need to stop doing things because women want them to do it.
But see, Precious.
No. I agree with you. No. I agree with what you just said.
I agree.
But that doesn't mean let me finish. No, but women's, you just said that we shouldn't do that, and I agree with you. But men do things for women because that's what women want. And now that men are saying we don't give a shit what you want no more, we're gonna divert back to our nature. Right. Women don't like that shit either.
Nope.
Well, you should just stay in your nature. You don't have to worry about a woman going crazy.
For 6 decades, y'all told her, for 3 decades out of the last 6, y'all say, stop approaching me.
Yeah.
Stop doing this.
Wait, what? Run that back?
Stop approaching us. We don't want to be approached. For
the last 30 years, this is what y'all been saying.
And so now the men say, you know what? We're thick-headed, and we decided, you're right. We're going to stop approaching you. And if I go on TikTok right now, I can put 10,000 videos of why men ain't approaching us no more. Do you know that dating apps was there for women because y'all didn't want men to approach you in a while? And so the dating apps came out, and then we found out that they don't wait a minute. They came out, and then we found out the women just want 20% of the men. Right? So and then we found out that doesn't work because the 20% y'all want, once they have so many options, they're never going to be faithful to you. Now the women are saying, okay, forget about the dating apps. I want to be approached in the wild. And then now you got a whole bunch of broken ass men.
Hold on.
so many broken ass men out there that y'all told you're a creep if you ask me, if you come talk to me in the shopping center, you talk to me over here, and now they're saying, how come men don't approach us? I mean, we say, you know what? It's the juice ain't worth the squeeze anymore.
I'll pay. Here's the difference, though. You say broken. I see a revamping of men
there you go.
Gaining back their power from the last 30 years.
Thank you.
The scrubs. Listen, Precious, listen. Go back. You was a kid. The no scrubs, right? You see now women are honoring men like that. Y'all honoring those men. Go ahead, girl. Y'all putting them out. Y'all giving them 5, turning up with the club with them, and y'all honoring those type of men. And the real dudes, because man, I gave them their power. They sit back like, I done seen this shit before, and they like, we ain't going that route like my uncles. Ain't no more Keith Sweat begging songs. Those songs are down the drain.
Keith Sweat.
Especially for the I'll just say 30-year-old men.
Yeah.
Only thing they doing now, they seeing what the truth is. And the truth, they finally listening to the women. And they say, okay, y'all coming out here pay to play. A dude ain't gonna have no problem working, saving up his little $100, calling little Quito towards the end of the month, because all the niggas be broke by the end of the month. Between the 20th and the 30th. You can get deals. You can get 2-for-1 deals. I'd rather spend that than to think I'm going to pay somebody's $1,500 rent. You know what I'm saying? Take the slow kids to the fair. No. I'd rather give up this $100. She going to do something strange for a piece of change, because, again, most women don't save money at all. They're living check to check. A lot of men, they understand that they save a little, they can ball out when they need to. But I'll shut up about this. And this is where it's going to be a trap for my favorite generation at 45 and under. Y'all been thinking y'all so cute for so long. Dudes are passing y'all up now. So find you a good hard worker and make a deal. I'm telling you, your three deal breakers, his 3 deal breakers, that's 6. And y'all come up with 2 to 4 together, that's 10. Put that shit on the mountain board over wherever you want to display it in your house. And when people come over, make sure they respect that. Make sure them slow ass kids respect that. And if not, then listen, be single.
This is in a sweet spot right now.
Yeah, she's in a sweet spot. But she's playing though.
I mean, I know you don't like to talk about this much because your biological imperative is so you can really be picky. You can really be picky. You know, you can hold out, because if it doesn't happen for you, it's not a priority because you already have some. A woman with no kids getting around 40 years, I'm not saying you're 40, getting to 40, they got a different mindset than a woman who has some getting to that age, because the sweet spot's between 36 and 40. If your kid is 16, 17, 18, that's no baby mama issue. A guy is not going to shy away from a woman with a kid who's grown already. The only issue that a woman who's grown might be is that if the guy wants more kids, before, after a 16 or 18-year layoff, most women ain't going to want to have another kid, even if they can. So that's why he would go younger. So when you're in that sweet spot, the pressure's not on. But for a lot of women, the pressure's on. Now they're starting to say, you know what? We've been beating up these guys for so long. Now I'm moving out of my prime years, and we did so much damage that, I might find a guy, but his name is Cleophas. His name is Cleophas.
Because all the prime,
we get a job in a steel mill somewhere, and working for $9 an hour.
All the prime beef is moved on. All the prime beef is purchased up, especially at the mature age, right? We get closer.
I'm so happy that I got married.
Listen, make a deal, man. Listen,
it's gone.
No, it's
how y'all
past.
gonna say that the men are the constant? Because
Men are the constant. Yeah. We are the constant.
But if the prime beef is gone,
It's
No,
passing
but
people by.
that
That's
doesn't
all.
mean we ain't for what we want. No matter. See, this is the one thing that's a constant for all men, whether we're rich, whether we're poor, or whether in between. You know, we we all have a common interest if we're straight in what we want from women.
Mhm.
I don't care how much money you make. If you're a good guy and you're a player, you just have more of it. If you're not a player, you have less of it. But we all still want the same thing. And it's not a bad thing because I talk to my cousins, I talk to women and stuff. It's not a problem for a man to want to have sex with you because even a man who gets married to a woman wanted to have sex with her first anyway. So it's a spectrum. But it all starts with it. Are you attractive? Am I attracted to you? And then what I would do for that attraction, back in the past, men would marry women because there was no other way to be with them. Right?
right?
If you
So
wanted
y'all
the woman.
started lying to him
No,
No. That's not why. That's not
to
why we
appease
started.
them. To appease
What
them.
we did was marry them. That's what we did.
right.
You know, that's what we did. And women on their end made it worthwhile to those men to wait for them because they weren't busting it down for a real one every week. You know, so that's why it was worth the squeeze. Once the women started busting it down for Jeff Rowe and Pew Nomi and all those kind of guys, why should I sit down here and put her on a pedestal? I might still like her. And here's another thing, men. I'm gonna shut up after this. We don't care if you had sex before. Most men, this is what men have to stop this whole bullshit that we talk about sometimes on these panels. We actually don't really care that you've been bust down before. Not really. Not the bottom. It doesn't change us. We just know that when it's our turn, we're gonna make the best of it. And what we're trying to find out is whether you could cleave to us even after all those experiences, how many they might be. If you find a woman who can leave the past in the past, who can look at you as the future, for some guys that's enough. You know, and some guys can misread that. But this whole notion that we all want like this pure, I got married in 1987. 1987. And my wife's sexual whatever it was not on the top of our discussion list in 87. And so in 2026, I can't imagine it being there. Get out of here. You know, back then when some guys actually still got lucky to get virgins and shit like that. But, a few. But, so it wasn't a top priority for me even back then. So it's not a top priority for men now. Most men know that if they get married, they're going to marry a woman who has some experience, especially the ones with kids. So so we don't take enough credit for the fact that we ain't that weak and insecure. We're just not. But the same thing, we're still a constant. We're still a constant. We're still a constant. You know what? If you got a box, I'm your ox.
Oh my God.
You got a box.
We need some milk. All right.
Oh man, we got to get you married, Precious.
Oh my God, here we go. Every show.
Yeah, this is my turn. I'm not gonna say no more. But so what else? What's next?
Yeah, what's next?
Since
right,
you got,
She ain't trying to hear that. Like,
who's ready to read? Who's ready to
I'll do
read?
it. Let's do it. Let's do it. If I stumble over it, I'm gonna blame it on the alcohol. Like I'm gonna blame it on alcohol.
All right, come on.
Blame it on the whiskey.
I can't see.
You ready?
Yeah.
You sure? Oh wait.
Well, is this the first one?
Hold on.
No, she could.
All right. I'm gonna try and.
Oh, that is small as hell.
Is that better? Or
Yeah, let's go ahead. If you go first, right?
babe, something is wrong with my car.
All right, it's making this horrible noise. That's me, right?
No, that's her.
No,
Tell
that's-
him.
It's pointing to him, though. It's pointing to him, right?
Okay.
It's making this horrible noise. Can you get it home?
Yeah, but I need to take it to the shop tomorrow. I really wasn't. Oh, my bad. That's you.
No, yeah, this one here is yeah. Your the second one is yeah, but that's you.
I really wasn't prepared for a car repair right now.
No, that's me. See this the little point. That's the first one is you. It says yeah, but
The second one is her too. It just continues on.
No, if you
Now,
go
I had the phone up to my ear and everything. We're gonna start this over, okay?
No.
It continues on.
You got no. Hold on, it doesn't continue on. You got to look where the arrow is pointing.
But
I
it still
said that
continues
part.
on.
I said that part, and then I mistakenly said your part and said, "Oh, that's you."
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But we got Coach over here.
He's
you
not
know.
there. He don't know what's going on. She just explained to him what's going on.
Okay, go ahead. Let's try it again.
It's script. Man.
As long as it get read, we'll get through it. It doesn't matter with that.
Okay. Takes it.
He don't know what's going on.
Hold on, I gotta take it back to the beginning. All right. All right, babe. Something is wrong with my car.
It's making this horrible noise. Can you get it home?
Yeah, but I need to take it to the shop tomorrow.
I really wasn't prepared for a car repair right now. Don't worry about it. I got you.
Thank you, babe.
It sounds like it might be your brakes.
That's what I was thinking.
Take it in tomorrow and see what they say.
Okay.
You definitely need brakes, but there is a couple of other things that needed attention.
How much are we looking at?
Right around 1,000 altogether.
Okay.
You want us to go ahead and do it?
Yeah.
Okay. We went okay. Everything's good to go. Your total is $1,000. Okay, but put a 500 on mine. He has his card out.
Wait. What do you mean 500?
Is that okay? What's next? That's what I have for your car.
You told me you had it.
I thought you needed brakes.
You didn't say I'll give you $500. You said I got you. I agreed to the repairs because you told me you were taking care of it.
Hold on. You agreed $1,000 worth of work without calling me?
Because you said you had it.
It's your car.
So
ultimately it's your responsibility.
Then why you tell me not to worry about it?
Because I was trying to help you, not take ownership of your car, biatch.
I can't.
If they would have said 2,000, would I owe you 2,000?
That's different.
How? At what dollar amount were you planning to call me?
You could have said I can put 500 towards it.
Okay.
But that's not what you said.
Is that pointing to you said
don't worry about it. I got you.
That's what he said. I'll pay 500. I plan to pay.
And where am I supposed to get the other 500?
Where's your car, baby?
You're the one who said you had me. All right, and sing. So
that's good.
It looked as though she needed a little help with the car. He said, yeah. The bill came out. It was $1,000. and he said he had 500, and now she mad because he said that he had it. Was she right in being mad at what he said, or is there something else there?
Well, he was wrong. He was wrong from the standpoint that he should have said, "Listen, I got 500. No matter what it is, if it's over 500, it's yours." And he should have said that from the jump. By saying "I got you" and trying to be the tough guy, he gave her a blank check. He gave her. You guys might not like it, but we got to be careful because women hear different shit than we hear. You know, and so you got to be precise. This is how much money I got for this shit, honey. $500. If there's more than that, you got to cover it. Oh, but honey, you know what?
Honestly, Arpain.
Yes, go ahead.
He should have went with her to get the.
It depends on what he was going on at the time.
Right.
But you're right. You're right. He could have done that. He could have done that.
We all know that when women go into the
this is true.
car dealership or get their car fixed.
You're right.
They be rubbing their hands like Birdman.
Exactly. Like
yes. This is true.
Right?
I know. You're right.
She went in there, raw dog, just by herself. And he said, "Well, you needed some other things." See, I was coached. When they tell you need something else, let them know. We'll get it done at a later date. Okay?
Yeah, well, you're right.
That's her. Oh, you needed some other things done. So now it's $1,000.
You're right. But he still told her, "I got you," and sent her ass out there by herself. So he opened the door. So even if she would have went there, right? And he says, "Listen, before she went there, maybe he shouldn't have sent her because I agree with you. I got 500, baby. That's all I could put to this." He would have told that guy would have said $1,000 if she was listening to him, which most women don't listen to their men. She would have called him. She said, "This guy says $1,000 for whatever I need." He said, "Listen, I only have 500. Can you get your brakes done for 500? And that's it. And we'll come back for the rest of the shit," right? So he didn't set a limit. You never tell a woman, "I got you. Go out in the wild and do your damnness. I got you." That's like man 101. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't even take that "I got you" like that. I took that "I got you" like, all right, like, you know what I mean? Once you let me know what's going on, I'll assess it.
You know what? You've been on these panels too long. That's not how most women think.
Right.
The "I got you" mean if I sit down here and this shit is $1,000, you said I got you.
It doesn't mean no matter the amount. And I mean, to be honest though, most niggas they ain't handy with tools anyway, so they rather just pay for it. And she called him. He don't know what's going on. It's making a loud noise. Where is it coming from? The engine, the brakes. Oh, you need some brakes. Get your ass some brakes. Don't be going over. But see, that's me because I don't have these situations.
Well, you would have went over with her, right?
If I'm at work, I pay. I ain't got time to be doing that shit.
So there you go.
I'm just saying, I'm doing shit. Oh, okay. Can you drive it? Yeah. Drive that shit over. Call me when you get there. It's simple questions to ask. It's like the dudes be trying to flex like they got that money, and then you leave a blank check. A woman go write that shit. That's why I never did nothing for a girlfriend like that. Hell no. If it's a girlfriend,
they got the long checks too. They don't have the short
exactly.
checks. Long,
but she's thinking about she got to keep her money because her girls is going to happy hour and they going out to eat. See what I'm saying? Instead of they go call you busters for the play money, and they gonna keep their money. It's like they gonna use your money to take care of your business, and then they gonna spend their money on the playground. So I don't even know, fellas. I don't care. If she ain't, listen, it's a 50-50 game when it comes to big shit. Your car, your house, you better have those bills paid. Now, everything outside, I can pay, we doing it together. But your responsibility, since y'all big ballers in the modern world, man, I would never, I've never had to do that, and I've had women call me when their car break down. What's going on? But I knew the questions to ask because that's just me. But you gotta know, dudes need to know cars, the engine from the brakes and whatever. You gotta go get it fixed. You should already know brake job at any mechanic will be $500 off the top. That's off the top. Then that other little shit, they might change your oil, do some more fake shit, put some fake. No, don't get none of that. See how much those brakes are, because again, when she said it, it's making a loud noise. He didn't know what was going on. So, fellas, listen, man. Yeah, don't be a sucker like him, and then you get over there with a $500 credit card, because she gonna take your money, and then she gonna break up with your ass in an ugly way.
But let me ask you, Coach. Let's just say the second part of it. After he found the whole thing and told her I only have 500, and she's saying, "Well, you said I got you." So take it from there. What should he say? You know what? My bad. I should have never said that shit. Is there a point where he should have said, you know what? This shit cost. This is a $500 mistake because I told this woman I got you when I didn't really mean it. I only got 5. You know what I'm saying?
He said this shit up, man.
No. He said
to himself.
Yeah, he didn't say he didn't let her know he only had $500
up front.
He was trying to flex and say, "I got you, baby. I want to. I got you because this is the male weakness because box is probably pretty good, so you want to make her happy."
But that goes to show a lot of dudes ain't handy. A lot of dudes.
What I'm saying is that I'm going to get to this point though. I want to hit this point. When it came to a head, and now he told her I only had $500. To her, he flipped the script because he never mentioned that shit before.
Yeah, he never.
So now, and she said it's 1,000, and you told me I got you.
Yeah, that's what he said.
So now, what does he do? Does he renege on the "I got you," or does he say, you know what, I only put $500 on it, but then he says, God damn it, this mistake is going to cost me $500 extra. Does he do that, or does he stand on his ground and say, you know what, biatch, you're on your own for the other 500? I don't care how good the box is.
That's where you got to be tough at. Yeah, and I think guys are sort of soft in those areas.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm asking you, what is
he should have? I would have been like, look, I got this 500. And I would be fine with her not talking to me no more. Matter of fact, I'm gonna see how much she got first. I'm gonna have to see before I give that man that money. I would have had to see how much she got. She'd have to let me see the bank account. Y'all pull up your app. Let me see all that, because you're not gonna get my 1,000.
I gotta admit, I have to look at my bank account.
I have to look at hers too.
I would look at my. I wouldn't tell her this. But if I got the other 500 in abeyance and shit, and I said that, and she was fine as hell, and it was some good box.
So you'll give in to the box? No.
I might have given.
That's why y'all gotta take y'all power back now.
Dudes ain't giving into the box no more. I paying that days is over.
I'm just saying, I might have gave it a 500 and never made that mistake again. See, the only reason why I said that is because I look at my life kind of like that at all. If I make a financial mistake, there's some shit I'll fight to the death. There's some stuff I said, you know what, I was through. It's called sunk cost.
I think there's a 27-year-old dude.
So I'm just trying to. But listen, the young 24-year-olds need to make a determination. Now, listen, I'm gonna give her. If she's just a high maintenance chick, and she's a pain in the ass, maybe I would have told you, okay, maybe this is the end of the relationship. But if it was a misunderstanding, wait a minute. If it was a misunderstanding because I told her I got you, I got to own a little bit of that.
Yeah.
I got to own a little bit of that. If I would have told her that all I got is 500, I should have told her that up front.
Yeah, on the phone. She'd have got that on the phone.
Yeah, you only getting 500 from me, baby.
Yeah.
And that's it. So, but he said, I got you. Yeah. When you tell a woman, I got you, she's assuming you got her.
Yeah.
She's assuming you're paying for it all. Like,
yeah.
And when she
I don't assume not a saying.
come on now. If I told you, come on. Okay, the guy, if he said, I got you, you don't, no.
No, even if he said, I got you, it has to come down to the very last. Like, I feel like men, you should be clear. If it's $500, say you have $500. Now, from the men's perspective, and you guys are saying, well, if a man says, I got you, then a woman is going to automatically think that you're going to pay the entire thing. So I would advise y'all to stop saying that. But don't say that, because if y'all's impression of saying it is that's what you're going to render, then yeah, don't say it. But you should be very clear and upfront with what you're willing to give. Like I agree with that. I don't ask men for money. I always see what men like. You do what you want to do for me. I'm not going to ask you for $500. I'm not going to ask you for. But I feel like on another show, y'all was like, "No, ask us for our money." I don't know.
No. Did we say that to you, Pressure? I don't think we said that. But first of all, you're not the average woman. You're not the average woman, Pressure.
Yeah, but I still don't assume that your money is coming to me.
No. That's why you're not the average woman. That's why you're not the average woman. Because you don't assume those things.
All exclusive trip paid for, right? All exclusive trip paid for. Right? We going on this trip. Now, you're paid for. We got everything paid for. We going to see some sights or whatever. We want to get some trinkets, right? I'm like, ooh, that's a nice little whatever. Well, I don't know. It'll be a nice little momentum piece for my house, right? You're like, oh yeah, you gonna get it? I'm like, well, I was hoping you get it. Would you offer to buy things like if you got everything already secured on the your sites? Would you just be like, okay, I'm gonna take care of what we eat.
I'll get it for you.
I'm gonna take care of all our drinks. I'm just gonna take care of the little stuff we do in the place that we at. You would do that. Yes. Most women ain't pulling out nothing but they lip gloss. They ain't pulling nothing out their wallet, Precious. Come on. They expect a man to cover everything down to that little dumbass souvenir they want to get for their girlfriend they've been fronting with for the last 6 months. Yeah, this nigga gonna take me on a trip. He paying for everything, girl. Man, they not gonna do that. She'll get home with that same 500.
Y'all can't see these women from a mile away. Like y'all,
they can't see them. I'm trying to let them see. They can't see them. I used to see them.
Yeah, like men don't pick up on this.
Not if that booty shaped like an onion, they ain't even looking at it. My parents said it. If they putting that woo wop on them, and look, I ain't really had that type of motion coming up. But now I'm early 30, I got that money, my money right, because when girls don't really like you,
then it's your fault.
No, Precious. When girls ain't really seeing you, you get a chance to save a little money. But when they start seeing you, they pulling money out of you. They extract. Even if you see them several females, you spending resources trying to juggle all that.
I was on the panel. At Hemp's panel, right? And the conversation on Hemp's panel was with all the men about how much more money it costs to have a woman, right? So I think a couple of guys went. One guy went and he said, "Oh yeah," and then Hank went and he said what he said, and then Hemp said to me, DJ Hemp said to me, "Real Payne, how much did it cost you to have a wife?" I said, "This shit cost me millions. I've been married 38 years. This shit cost millions." Yeah, everybody busted out laughing. I'm saying, man, that if I wasn't married, I wasn't gonna spend. I'm not saying I spent it on my wife,
right?
Particularly, it was the family, all that whole thing. But she's the nexus of all that shit. If I was just a single man, that million would have been invested. It would have been. I would have had the trim line for the trim. I would have had all that other kind of shit. All I'm just trying to say is I'm domesticated.
Payne, most men are not built like you over the last 40 years, bro. They would have blew that money turning up at the clubs.
your
They would
million
have been out there buying cheeks,
for
Jordans.
somebody who's not in a
After,
relationship.
once I started investing, I would have done that whether I was single or not.
Precious, what'd you say? I couldn't hear you.
But no, I'm sorry. Yeah, she was saying I would have been just like the rest of the guy in the club.
Sound like
I was never a clubber. I was never a real clubber. Because listen, I'm like I said before, I was never a pickup artist. Never. I couldn't go to the club and then leave. I'm banging out. Some guys were good at that. That wasn't my forte. I'm too wholesome for that shit. That's
too
why
wholesome.
I'm too wholesome.
It's a good Catholic school education out paying. See, public school, they be thirsty over the females. See, Catholic school, a little more reserved, man. I get it, man. I get it. Because those dudes be trying to thirst over those girls.
Nah, I don't. To tell you the truth, I don't know how I had as much success as I had, but before I got married.
Okay, man, what you talking about? You was tall, dark, and handsome. What you talking about?
I was.
You was in a fraternity, all paying. You was college educated, man. Stop it.
Listen, man,
Stop it, man. What you talking about? That's the cream of the crowd.
Hold on now, but back then.
You just didn't
everybody else was in the same thing. So now looking back on, I can understand the advantages. But when you're in the mix, you're just another guy.
Yeah.
Now I didn't know that part of me being a fraternity, women used to come up to me and touch me and say, "Hey, man, oh they used to say, oh my God,
come on, man.
You was a Q. You wasn't that wholesome.
Right? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I was a wholesome Q.
Yeah, you was wholesome.
Had that dog in you. Had that dog in you.
Oh my God! You know what, man?
All right. So I mean, bottom of the line with that one is men don't say that phrase. I got you. Be very clear and upfront with what you want.
Be clear. Thank you.
If you ain't got nothing, say you ain't got nothing, because that's what
I ain't got nothing, baby.
I ain't got nothing. Don't come to me.
But and women, this is why last live I said that, we talked about that woman who wanted to get a job and her boyfriend was like, no, we're about to move in together and I really want to know if I can make it happen. This is that instance, like Coach Ferg said, like you have to be saving money. You have to have something on the side for a rainy day, or if you're having car issues, so that if a man does not offer you anything, you're still able to get done what you need to get done. And so, that's something that I always talked about on the panels when I was on there, because, women should be able to pay their way. You should be able to pay for your hair. You should be able to pay for your nails.
Absolutely.
That shouldn't be something that you are seeking from a man. If a man wants to do that for you, awesome, great. Merry Christmas. But if it's not something that he's agreeing to, your upkeep, then you can't be mad that he's not doing it, because you've been doing it all along, unless you you're selling the cooch or some makeup. I don't know.
I don't make this thinking, but I don't do that for my wife. That's one of the reasons why, she got some money that I don't even think about it. That's all for her to do all that feminine shit, man. She want to go get pedicures and get massaged by Igor and all that other shit. She does that shit on her own. So and she could afford that, right? So, I don't tax that, right? Man, you know what? The more I think about it, man, you gave her everything.
You King Jaffe Joe Farr, man. Stop
it. Yeah, man.
You King Jaffe Joe Farr, man. He got his own money.
I got a shirt. I gotta go buy me a shirt with simp on the front of that. The husband simp, man. I'm an HS. My wife, she's just something else, man. I'm gonna leave it. I mean, she smiled at me, man. I melt like a cheap piece of butter and shit, man. And she know it too, right? A lot of time we empty nesters, so she sit on this side of the table, I sit on that. So every so often we eat, and I look over there, and then she gives me that Cheshire Cat smile shit, man. I say, stop doing that shit, because I said, what do you want? She said, I'm just looking at you. Oh,
yeah, man, come on, man. Talk your shit out.
I mean, I've been married for a long time, man, and she still knows. She's just, I said, you know what? I want to go see. Make sure you don't got no candle and roots somewhere. You know, doing
my
some shit.
goodness.
Yeah. I'm just
All
like
right.
putty. But what's next?
We're gonna go into this video that I saw. It is a clip from one creator, but he's reacting to Joe Budden's podcast about a woman who seems like she's terminally ill. They may not know all the details. And her husband is assuming or not assuming that sex will continue after this diagnosis.
Stuff. I believe it was cancer. I didn't get into the particulars. Her expectation was that they weren't having sex.
His was not.
His was not. Or I won't say his expectation was. His acts weren't. So I'm saying that to say there was no conversation they could have had that would have changed the outcome of that.
No, there was a conversation. The conversation was happened at the altar. So if they didn't have a conversation after that, then the conversation is clear. We married for each other, best, worst, rich, poor. I'm now sick. I can't supply you with this level of pleasure.
I agree with you. I'm just saying that sometimes there's no conversation that will change what you're not getting. It just might change the plan.
Like she could have said, listen, I know in this state I'm not able to supply that need of yours. I know you have a high sex drive. So what I'm going to do is allow you to have sex with outside people.
Nah, I'm with Amani on this. The conversation happened at the altar. But the problem is I feel like when most people get married, they recite their vows out of a performance rather than an actual promise to their partner. They say these things because they feel like they have to, not because they actually want to. So the moment that life puts them to the test and now they have to fulfill the commitment rather than just recite it, then they try to renegotiate something that's non-negotiable. Because marriage is what it is. It takes what it takes. When you say I do to your partner, you're saying to them that for the rest of my life, every romantic desire and need that I have, I will come to you to have them fulfilled. And if you ever are in a place where you're mentally or physically unable to meet those needs, then I have to go without. Will it be easy? No, but that's what you signed up for. We have to learn to die to our fleshly desires in order to meet our spiritual obligation and responsibilities.
Pour me one, man. Pour me one up, man. Is that you pouring over, man? Pour me one, man. God damn.
Now, I will agree that
My sister was out here.
Shit! I'm dying in this fucking country ass fucked up town. Shit flying in my mouth. The fuck, I can't see pollen. And let's get the fuck out of this country, motherfucker. I can't see me.
you in these videos.
Ooh. I'm sorry I had to play that. While he was pouring his drink. So, what do you guys think? Till death do you part, for better or worse. Someone gets sick.
So who wants to go first? Go ahead, Leon. Go ahead, go first, man.
I do think some people say those vows out of a performative action, that they don't, not saying that they don't mean it, but they don't have those discussions down the line. Like, that's a hard conversation to have, when you get sick, what is the expectation, that when you get sick, if you're unable to perform, would you be willing to allow me to go outside? But that's just another conversation that people don't have, especially when people, are getting ready to, when their life is ending and they don't have life insurance and now they got to go do a GoFundMe. It's the same scenario. It's people don't have these conversations when they need to.
Well, go ahead, Coach. What you got?
Man, listen, man. When dudes 6'6", 6'9", talking about their feelings and their partners and shit, man. We gotta, come on, man. I mean, What are we talking about, man? I need to put my degrees up and my little accomplishments in the
All right,
background.
but
Man.
let's stick to
I
the
need to
thing.
put them up, man, because
What you do is
why
the
people
guy,
be listening to this type of shit? That's why, man. The future of our manhood is in jeopardy.
okay.
The future of the black man's ability to think forward and just overcome rhetoric of what people are saying about whatever, that's in jeopardy.
So do you agree with that guy?
I agree
at the end
nothing
or
with
not?
what he said, man. I
Okay.
mean,
That's what I want to know. So
Wait,
you
which
were
guy? Wait, you don't agree with
the last guy.
the last guy.
okay, so what do you think should happen?
In reference to what? Going to when people are getting married?
No. The
married,
clip. Go back to the clip. The
Right,
wife can't give you no box no more. She can't satisfy you. What do you do?
Oh wait, not him.
Not him.
Not
but-
that one.
The guy who said if the
Whose
wife
wife
can't
had,
satisfy you,
was
what
going
do
through
you do?
some major medical stuff.
Oh,
I believe
I
it was
didn't hear
cancer.
you.
I didn't get into the particulars. Her expectation was that they weren't having sex.
His was not.
His was not. Or I won't say his expectation was. His acts weren't. So I'm saying that to say there was no conversation they could have had that would have changed the outcome of
No,
that.
there was a conversation. The conversation was happened at the altar. So if they didn't have a conversation after that, then the conversation is clear. We married for each other, best, worst,
Death
rich,
do us
poor.
part.
death do us
Good,
part.
yeah.
I'm now sick. I can't supply
I'm
you
with
with
you.
this level of pleasure.
I agree with you. I'm just saying that sometimes there's no conversation that will change what you're not getting. It just might change the plan.
Like she could have said, listen, I know in this state I'm not able to supply that need of yours.
You're
I
right.
know you have a high sex drive. So what I'm gonna do is allow you to have sex with.
Why he said she
Okay.
could have said he know that she is terminally ill.
But here's the thing. It's see, at first I got caught up in the dude's response. And as I listened in, if she knows she's incapacitated like that, then to me, I think that's where you have these I don't know, people don't really have these type of in-depth discussions about, if you get injured or sick or a capacity where you can't satisfy the sexual need, then what could be some alternatives? You know what I'm saying? I don't think people have those before they.
That's the situation they're in, though, Coach. Answer the-
But
in
she's
that situation.
if someone is medically incapable, that's one thing.
But that's where she's at. Do you forego
So-
your own sexual needs or not?
If she say, "Hey, go and get you something to slide in," then I may be hesitant with a hall pass at first, and but maybe if this is my birthday and we 5 months in, then I might go back and say, "Hey, remember that hall pass?"
Y'all.
No, y'all. No, y'all. I didn't go yet. There's no y'all. You can't say y'all. Why you saying y'all, Precious?
Y'all
That's
got
one
like
more
Sheila.
But I'm going up this mountain to save my marriage.
I mean, but I'm gonna be dedicated to it. It ain't gonna be, and I would do what the rules would apply. Let her experience. I ain't gonna just run out there in the streets because I ain't trying to bring nothing nasty home. But I would do it sort of professional and let her be like, there she is over. Okay.
Professional.
Yeah. I ain't just run out in the street. I would want to do it like they do it in the movies, professional. She's a part of the
Y'all want me to
choice.
get married.
I would let her be a part of the choice, and I would do it in a way where I wouldn't be throwing it in her face. When I come around, she wouldn't
You're
know.
saying if the woman gives him permission, he still shouldn't do it?
No, I'm saying
No.
go do
I'm
it.
asking Precious this.
Yeah,
If your
Precious.
wife
you asking
gave
me?
him-
Oh.
If the woman gives him permission, should he do it or not? If she gives
No,
him
he
permission,
shouldn't do it. He should
okay.
not
All
do
right.
it.
I just want to know. I just
Now,
wanna
why?
know.
He should not do it.
Why?
Because you marry someone and for better or worse. Now, do you mean that, or are you just saying those things, right? Because when y'all little things start working, all right, is she guaranteed to say, "Hey, look, it ain't working no right no more.
Why? Well, first of all, why it gotta be little? why you gotta throw little in there? You know what I'm saying? You know, why you gotta throw that shit in there?
But like I was saying, like I was saying, when things happen in a relationship, are you accepting of this person enough to love them through that sickness and health, or through those hard times and things of that nature? So
I agree with you, Precious. I agree with you.
It's crazy how the guy on the podcast was like, well, you know, if she came to me and said X, Y, and Z, and it's like, this woman is dying. What is she gonna
do? Precious, I do agree with you. Hold on, I agree with you, Precious. You know why? Because if the little thing ain't working no more, I'm never giving my wife a hall pass.
Okay.
I'm not giving her one. So she could go hold on now, so she could go get satiated and come back to the little unworking thing and shit. No, I'm paying all the bills. She out there banging it out for new. And let me tell you, the things that she's doing for that guy will just blow your mind. You know what I'm saying? No, the answer is no. So that's why I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't even ask for it. But you know what? I believe my wife would give me one, but I wouldn't do it. But I agree with the guy who says that, you know, you got to go through it with your wife. Now, is she? I would just ask: is she a paraplegic, or does her hands still work and does the other things? Because I could figure maybe the other thing down in the bottom ain't going down there, but can you tilt your head to the side or what?
You ain't got to use no hands.
I gotta have, but at least you're willing to have that conversation and not the conversation of.
You got to have the conversation, though. You really do. I think you got to have the conversation. And like I said, the only reason why I wouldn't ask for a hall pass, because I would never give my wife one.
That's a good one. That's a good way to do it. And 58, no. Most people in their 20s and 30s, they doing this shit. That's why they in the positions, because they doing it voluntarily.
If they in their 20s, they weren't married but for 2 days.
I'm just saying that 20s, 30s, a lot of people, that's why they start falling apart, because they still trying to live in that lifestyle.
Well, they shouldn't be married. They shouldn't be married.
But they are.
That's the point. No. Well, the marriage rates are real slow, so they ain't getting married.
Yes,
the fact that people ain't getting married today at a high rate is a good thing. From one aspect, because nobody believes in the vows. I think one of the things, my observation from the 100-foot level, is that most people shouldn't get married, because the level of commitment, most people don't have the drive to do that. They might say the bullshit for the pomp and circumstance and all that kind of stuff. The things you need to do to stay not only happily married, but successfully married is something that most people in the modern era ain't willing to do. Not willing to do. You know, so that's why just be partners like the women want. Sign some bullshit to say, you know what, if things are right, this is our partnership, and if things go wrong, you go your way, I go my way, and if we have kids, we split it down the middle. But for the most part, the vows, you can't, if you're going to ignore the vows, then don't get married. That's what I say. Don't get married. Don't stand up in church and have all your families on both sides of the aisle sitting in front of the priest, looking at God and shit, and lying. Stay your ass single and have fun. Just do it, So that's my thing.
So problem with that, they still gonna make babies.
Yeah, but that's not, well, listen, you don't need to be married to make babies. But you don't. No. Before we get into all the social issues, that's one thing. But nobody said you had to get married to have babies. That's not how it was in the beginning. Guys were the strongest guys, the strongest hunters. They saw the best women. They banged their asses out and they had kids. They didn't marry them. You know, so all I'm just trying to say is marriage is a social construct. You know, and so is a partnership, by the way. So, and like I said, if you really want marriage to be real, then you have to be willing to do the real shit about it. And most people today can't not do it. They can't do it. Both men and women. They're both failing. So that's why I use the word intentional. And, you know, that's my thing. This whole notion that people can't get together, that's bullshit too. The reason why they can't is not because of social media. It's not because of all this horse shit that we hear. It's because neither party is intentional about getting together. Because if I see the woman I want and she sees me and we have this conversation that we're going to be together intentionally, there's nobody on the outside that should be able to mess with that. Nobody. And you know, and it's so rare. People are not willing to do it. They're just not willing to do it. I want to hang on to my old girlfriend. I want to hang on to my ex. I need that male best friend. Yeah, it's all bullshit. Because, like I said, true friendship is intimate. I don't want my wife to be intimate with another fucking dude. Excuse my language. You know, and well, I'm not even talking about sex. I'm talking about conversations. I'm talking about companionship and all that. I'm not sharing her with nobody else like that. Hell no.
That's right.
You know, so that's the problem we have out there. So that's one of the
people are sharing. I'm paying people. So you're saying just go ahead and keep sharing each other without the family, without the marriage?
No, I'm saying that
because people are still having sex.
No,
right?
no. Well, I'm not saying stop having sex. I'm saying
No, I'm just saying
that if you want to have a wife and a wife wants to have a husband, they can't think like everybody else.
No,
they
can't.
gotta be. They gotta be intentional about. I gotta isolate them.
Yeah.
No, most people ain't doing that. Most people ain't doing that. Even the ones who are getting married and they're getting divorces. To like when celebrities get married, I say, why are you getting married? You're going to be divorced in 2 or 3 years anyway, right? I mean, it's just dumb.
But what about say most middle class, because most middle class seem to.
Well, middle class people are not getting married either because they ain't making the commitment.
I know that. So if they're not doing that, technically, it's all it says is ride the dick carousels for the next 25 years.
Well, or the men are marrying the box carousel too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Just play that game.
Man, I mean, all I'm just trying to say is you can't legislate that away. Well, I'm sorry. You have to incentivize. I think we don't incentivize marriage in our culture anymore.
Well, the laws don't incentivize it so much.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's not incentivized. The law is one part of it. And even regardless of the law, if you find a woman that you want to be married to and she wants to marry you, and your intentionality would drive even over the law, over your friends, over all this other shit that's going on, but nobody's that intentional anymore. They're just not.
So you saying people are giving up?
I'm not using the word. You can use the word give, whatever it is. It's not giving up. People, there's an intentionality that needs to happen, and I don't see it. That's why the marriage rate is so low. And words matter. If you listen to women, right? Women, I really hear women say, "I want a husband." They want a partner, right? And then men, most of the men are pussies, and they're starting to say partner too. But they don't understand that women, when they use words, it's different than how men use words.
Yeah, facts.
And when they say partner, they're telling you that we're together as long as you could pull through.
Yeah.
And if you fall down, this partnership is over. You might.
So would you say that men have a different meaning for "till death do us part," and women have a different meaning for "till death do us part"?
Yes.
Hey, Jay.
How you doing?
What's going on, man? I haven't seen you in a while, brother.
Oh.
What's happening?
How y'all living?
Are you still overseas?
Yeah, always. My kids are here, so I'm here. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's no point leaving.
I hear you. Go ahead,
But
man.
I've been seeing the Lindsey Graham thing, right? And all the women that are up in arms, and they have a legit point, right? But my position is this. Do the women of today, the way they have empathy for her, do they have the same sort of empathy for Chris Benoit? Chris Benoit was a wrestler who also on tons of medication, had issues, and he unalived his wife and children. I'm sorry, wife and child, just one child. And I think it's a really good kind of correlation to see if some of the women who are wanting empathy for Lindsay in this situation can also give empathy to men who have also maybe experienced or gone through the same thing with their versions of PTSD.
The answer is no, because he's called a family annihilator, and there were no lines and picket lines supporting that guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you already know the answer to that. The answer is no. If it was a man doing what Lindsay did, there would be no big picket lines out there, and the media would be calling him a family annihilator. That's what they would be calling him. They don't care what kind of psychosis he has.
So does that actually mean that she does deserve sympathy? It's just the fact that maybe we as men are mad because we don't get sympathy in that situation?
No,
I'm just asking because
I don't know. Let me just answer your question, and I'll move on to everybody else. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm saying is, leave men out of this, because I think men are kind of, not ambivalent. Some of us just think she's guilty. It's really the women that's driving all this sympathy. There's a few men out there, but
we can't leave men out of it because the husband's being blamed.
He's not really. The Lord.
He is. They're finding all sorts of ways to blame him, and
but that's the same women who are supporting her. I'm saying the law is not blaming him. That's all that matters.
But the law doesn't matter. Society and societal norms and how society thinks matters. Because again, if young children are seeing this, who are teenagers, right? Again, it's going to make young men again not want to have children with women, because we see that this sort of, there's no accountability, there's no consequence for anything, that's the point. So it does affect men. Because this guy, it shows how easily you can be blamed no matter what. You are always the bad guy, even when you're the victim. He's not allowed to mourn the 3 children passing in his ex-wife.
I agree with you from that standpoint, but that's not what I originally thought you were saying. The truth of the matter is, men don't get that kind of treatment from the society. We just don't get women treatment, and I'm happy that we don't. The truth of the matter is, I'm more on the side of we need to make women get the same kind of treatment we get, because that's where equality is. This woman should be vilified as a family annihilator, not all this bullshit that's going on right now, because that's what would be happening to a man. If a man killed his kids, strangled them in the basement and all that shit, no, there wouldn't be no lines of liberal ass pink shirted women saying anything. He would be in the media as a family killer.
I understand that. So my position is saying that instead of us trying to say women need to be treated like us, if we leaned into, hey, we want to be treated like women, it forces that side to understand what real equality is.
No, I disagree 100% with that. I think any notion that men should try to acquiesce to be treated like women is the worst thing in the world.
It's the worst.
Because not treated like women, be empathized at. If women are the more empathetic side, which they say that they are, then as men, we should be able to have this kind of conversation and say, we are trying to appeal to your empathy. Since you're the more empathetic gender, then why don't you see the empathy when it comes to us? And that's how you get real equality.
Let me say the phrase for you. It's the new phrase out there is what these women have. It's called suicidal empathy. It's suicidal empathy. It's poison empathy. It's the most gross mischaracterization of empathy ever, because now they're trying to somehow justify a woman taking time to strangle the life out of their children. I don't think men should ever try to aspire to be felt sorry for that way. If I killed my kids, wait a minute.
They're not trying to justify it. They're analyzing how she got there.
If
They're not.
I don't care
Okay.
what it is. If my
No, no, no,
life,
no, 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 no. You have to care
you
what
gotta
it
let
is.
me
You
finish.
you can't say I care about the outcome, but I
Hold on,
don't
brother.
care about how it
Hold on,
led to
brother.
that
Let me
outcome.
know. You
That's
gotta
the
let me
same way
finish.
when
Wait,
women hit men and
no,
say,
no,
"Oh,
no.
he
You
hit
can't.
me," but you
Well,
don't want to
hold on, brother.
investigate
But
what she
if you
did
ain't
to
gonna
get
let me
hit.
finish
You
my
have to
thoughts before
investigate
you,
what led
if
up
you ain't
to her making this
gonna let me finish
catastrophic
my
decision.
thoughts, you gotta let me finish my thoughts before you cut it. There
We're
was a
having a
certain. There was
conversation, and I'm
well,
just kind
but
of.
I gotta say what I gotta say first before
Well,
you
then
cut me
say it
off.
because you're kind
Well,
of
you can't.
using a lot
If
of
you
words.
cut me off, I can't say it. So
Okay, well
here's
then
my thing.
how about this?
There was a
Give me
reason.
2 minutes to make my point. Then I'll give you 2 minutes to make your point, and then
I had the floor, and you cut me off.
you didn't have the
Yeah,
floor, sir.
you
We were
did.
having the conversation.
You did cut him off. Go ahead, Arpan. You say your
Here's my thing. There was a recent man who was a not Florida. There was a recent guy who unalived his children, his wife,
Yeah.
not his children, his wife, but he left his kids alive. Right? I forgot what he was. He spared them. All I'm just trying to say is we don't need suicidal empathy as a man. If we deleted our children, whatever punishment is coming towards us, we deserve it. And I believe whatever punishment comes to this woman should be the same as the punishment that would come to a man. Period. Everything else is noise. And the fact that thousands, maybe tens of thousands of women are supporting her through this suicidal empathy should frighten us almost as much as the deletion itself. Because these women vote. These women are out there in the diaspora. These women have children. And they're justifying deleting their kids because they felt bad one day. I'm just saying. So I don't think men should ever dip down there so we can have the same kind of empathy as women. We don't need to put ourselves on that plane or else we're lost. We need to elevate women to where we are. That's what I think. And I'll end it there.
Okay. I hear what you're saying. And you say that men deserve that. I disagree. If a man makes that decision, I think if justice was true and justice was real, you would analyze what happened. For example, if we're thinking about this scenario and it was a person who was on medications the way that she was on medications, I think it's only fair to analyze if the doctors overprescribed this person to end up changing the way that their brain operates. That's logical. And there should be penalty for the people who overprescribed him. You're saying, oh, well, he deserves whatever comes to him and he's solely responsible. I disagree with that. I have seen people who have gotten over medicated with prescription pills, and it absolutely changes the way that you think and the way that you operate. And I don't think that once you get off those pills, you need to be held to that same sort of consequence, because that wasn't really you. Now, it's different if we're talking about alcohol and things like that. Someone got drunk. But when you're trying to get help, you're going to prescribe doctors to get help, and they are giving you things that mess you up. I think you do deserve some sort of empathy in that situation if that sort of outcome occurs. Now, is that not logical?
Now, it sounds like a good excuse. And I agree that the doctors could be culpable, and they should be. Even in her case, by the way, it shouldn't just end with her going to jail. The people that prescribed all of those drugs need to be held accountable. But I don't give a shit whether this guy was on some kind of fictitious cocktail. If you take your kids out of existence and blame it on the drugs, you're leaving a trail. I want to know why you were on these drugs, but I don't really care. Because in the end,
you say you don't care. So if you don't care, you already said you don't care. So you can't. No matter what we say, or no matter what, you don't care.
But hold on now. I do agree that you could have a case, but I think the guy who commits the crime should be held to the highest extent of the law. And if you want to do further and come after the people who prescribed the drugs wrongly, like for example, Michael Jackson, when he passed away, right, they put his doctor in jail. Right, they put his doctor in jail. I don't agree. I don't disagree with that. So if I family annihilated my kids because of the cocktail mix that some doctors gave me, then the second trial should be on those doctors, okay? But the first trial, I don't want to hear about the excuse because the kids are still gone, and there was a point in there where there's some rationality left, especially with this chick. She planned this thing.
Let me give you the scenario then.
So she was crazy enough.
Let's say somebody put something in your drink and you end up getting drugged and you end up doing that to your children, right? Somebody drugged you and you made that decision.
Yeah.
Should you bear any responsibility for that?
Yes.
Why?
Yes. Because
if somebody drugged you and you did, and without you knowing it, and you end up making and doing that and unaliving your children, you think that you deserve to get some sort of consequence?
Well, first you have to convince me that they gave me a drug that will make me kill the kids I love.
Okay,
right?
well,
so this is
you refuse to connect the dots.
No, this is a far out example. What if it's a Quaalude, if it's a sex drug, if it's GBT, if it's what kind of drug? Because listen,
a mind-altering drug. Somebody put something in a man's drink, and it made him have a psychosis, and he ended up unaliving his children.
Let's talk about the kind of drugs that we're talking about. LSD.
Sir, you're making it way more complicated than it has to be. I just said a mind-altering psychosis pill or drug or powder or anything.
Let me tell you. LSD
okay,
is
then let me pose this question to somebody else on the panel.
LSD is a mind-altering drug.
Sir, let me pose that same question to somebody else on the panel so everybody else can jump in. Okay?
I'm gonna say my piece before because you
sir,
said it.
You already said earlier you don't care, so it's okay. Let's get somebody else to chime in on this scenario.
After I say what I say, then they can chime in.
Sir,
I'm saying that if it's LSD, that's a mind-altering drug, and I don't see a whole bunch of people family annihilating on that one. And I'll shut up and let somebody else talk.
Okay, thank you.
Now that you're in charge of the panel.
Wait, okay.
Now that you're in charge of the panel, brother.
Sir, I thought you said
don't sir me.
Sir, I thought, what do you mean don't sir you? You want me to call you a bunch of names outside of your name? I'm keeping it respectful. I'm saying sir. You are my elder. So I'm saying sir. What would you want me to call you? What do you want me to call you?
You can call me sir if you really mean it.
Okay, thank you.
Yo, first of all, man, we have to argue a little bit when we get on these panels. It's been a long time, so I gotta get under your thing. But go ahead. You're the man. Go ahead. Who's next?
The same scenario that if somebody puts a mind-altering drug in a drink, whether it's a man or a female, they make a decision and end up doing something horrible to their children. Do you think that person should receive any sort of not consequence? Let me think. Like serious jail time, or should should they be forgiven because it wasn't really them, in your opinion?
I don't think that they should necessarily be forgiven. I think that they should, if they were drugged, they should definitely take consequence on the person that drugged this person. But
why would you not forgive them if they had no idea that it was put into them? Why wouldn't you forgive them?
Because at the end of the day, what exactly is what drug, and maybe I have to be educated, but what drug can you give someone that is going to make them kill 3 children, one back to back to back? If it was one child, then it's like, okay, maybe I can see that it would, maybe it was a heat of a moment, and between your emotions, the drugs, whatever the case may be. If it was one, then maybe I might be a little bit more empathetic. But the fact that it was 3, one ran away, and you're chasing them down to unalive him, to me, I don't know. I've never been in a situation where I've had a mind-altering drug. So honestly, I don't even know if I'm eligible to answer this. But at the same time, these were prescribed drugs, which have instructions on them, which she journaled on when she took them and what she took. And so if there is a fear of a mind-altering experience, then she should be in an environment that if a mind altering experience was to happen, then she's safe. She has people that are going to, jump to the occasion when. I just don't know if she was ever safe to release to the public with having 8 pills go through her bloodstream. So at the end of the day, yes, the doctors need to be held accountable, but she also shouldn't have been in a situation where she's caring for others when really the drugs are is making her a different person. She should have been in a facility. She should have been getting help. She should have been away from the general public, especially her children.
I 100% agree. I still stand firm and believe that if we really want to study and do something about postpartum, women as a community need to start creating when women have a baby, you all need to create your own little bubble where you're protecting women in that, because we as men, that's not our role. And I think that us trying to help or even appease a woman going through postpartum is almost counterproductive. I think only women, and that's the way our elders, I think when that time, women need to be surrounded by other women so they can relax and just heal. But as they try to maintain the ideals of what motherhood is by themselves and the man coming in, that's what makes all the chaos in the household, I believe. That's just my theory. I think that if we truly wanted to attack postpartum, we need to have a conversation about women truly supporting women after the baby is born for damn near like they're living in the house type shit, having midwives like they do in Japan. Your cousins or your family members are living with you as a woman to help you in this. That's the only way logically I think you could actually do this without drugs.
Women already have those resources. A lot of them just choose not to participate. They already have those resources for women because the medical field already understands that some women may have postpartum. The resources there. A good OGBYN will give you the pamphlet and say, call this number. A lot of them just don't do it. But then something could happen with it. I would like to know what made her attack the kids. It's always a why. I like to know what prompted her to do that to her children. And medically, if she was on some type of drug and the prescription was different, then the medical people are responsible, whoever prescribed that drug. And they also go by what you report. She was probably liking that whole feeling. She's never been in a headspace like that. So it's just a whole lot of variables. It's just unfortunate that the children have to lose their lives. And then we see how the empathy is placed for women. I didn't see it, but I hope it wasn't a white woman. She's going to get even more empathy. And
she was brown hair, white woman. Yeah.
So she'll get more empathy in what she's going through. But we've seen when things like it's happening for us, it's pulled on both sides. But I think, it should be some things laws, and I'll shut up. When it comes to the generation of the future, some laws have to be changed. Some laws have to be mandated where both of the slow ass parents are obligated to take care of this child. You can go, listen, your ass is going to parenting classes on Saturdays for 8 weeks. Y'all both will know how to change the diaper. Both of y'all know how to feed the slow kid, give it a bath. And guess what? We just gonna make child support. This is me. This is my world that I'm snapping my finger. Child support is going to go into a trust fund till the baby turn 18 by both of y'all slow asses. I don't care if both of y'all paying 50-50 for this baby. And not saying y'all still won't take care of the baby, because I believe most people will take care of it because somebody had to have the physical part of it, but it's 50-50 down the hatch. Now, if you choose not to be in the baby's life, then you're going to be paying a little bit more. You can just make that decision when the baby's here. But when you leave people out on the island and now people are all in their feelings, it's going to get worse. This is just the beginning. People like to follow other people.
Please speak about your thing. Please keep working with that theory. If that were ever to actually occur, so many children would benefit from that. If both parents simply had to pay child support into a trust fund, and then the child gets it when they're 18, could you imagine how much that would affect in a positive way the Black community in itself?
Look,
every 18-year-old could look for, and by 16 they can plan what they're going to do with that money. It would absolutely be positive, and way more. The child would get way more money than they would get anyway if they had
depending on the child behavior at 18. You're looking to graduate high school, go to college. You got a nice little trust fund.
Yeah,
You'll
but
be
there's a
jittery
flaw
down
in
in
the
the
plan,
streets.
though. There's a flaw in the plan because the trust, you still got to pay for them growing up.
Right, you paying for them growing up.
Yeah, if you put money in the
fit the
trust fund,
responsibility, right?
well, hold on, but if you put money in the trust fund, that's one thing. You still got to pay for them to live.
They both can pay $200 a month.
Well, it depends on. Yeah, it'd be nice if it was only $200 a month. The point
You could easily throw $75 a month in the trust fund,
Yeah.
and again, if they can't touch it until they're 18, then that 75 you're throwing in is almost like an extra 100 because it's accumulating. You know,
not the number; it's who makes the judgment. That's the point. There's a formula for all those things. It's a good idea, but you still got to pay for them while they're growing up. So the trust fund thing is a nice sidebar, but the child support, the real issue is I think that the kids should be given to their fathers more often than given to their mothers because we have receipts.
But that's what a lot of women do.
So, I just think that men will be more efficient raising their kids than women after a certain age. Because we already have enough receipts, not all women, but enough to make a difference. Not all women, but enough to make a difference to how women raise kids. And what kind of men get turned out by just being raised by women. So I'm thinking that we should have a thing where it starts out 50-50, where the men or women has the kids, and whoever's best able to support them should get the primary custody, and it's usually the man because he's the one who got to pay out more of the money. So if he has more of the money, then he should be able to have more to say in the kid's life than a woman. That's what I'm thinking, and that would change some things because men operate different than women. They're more structured, less chaos. And kids respond to men's voices differently than they respond to women's voices.
That does make absolute logical sense. Whoever makes the most money should have the most influence on what the child's upbringing is. But does. And if the woman has the most money, then same scenario. Then the child should go to her because she's the one that actually controls the most influence.
If she makes the most money, then yeah. And truth of the matter is the child support that the man has to pay is probably not the most, because the way they do it is whatever. So what I'm saying, but mostly, in most cases, the men make the most money. That's why they get taxed the most. So I'm just saying, those are. Now I'm not saying the trust fund is a bad idea. All I'm just saying is, while you put money in the trust fund, whatever that amount might be, there still has to be how you pay for living expenses outside of the trust fund for the kids. Okay. And another thing I would say is if men who we get taxed the most, if we have more assurances that the money that we pay to the woman that we pretty much despise now goes to the kids, that we wouldn't have as much issues with child support because we give the money to the woman and she does whatever the hell she wants with it, whether it goes to the kids or not. So there's a lot of problems with the law, but guess what? All those pink tushies out there for Lindsay, whatever, they vote. They're never going to vote that shit in.
No.
They'll never.
I think the one thing we're not talking about in this case again, and my main focus is those pills are way more dangerous than we think they are.
I agree with you.
And that's why I give her empathy on this, because 13 different doctors giving you opioids, and first of all, that whoever paid for all that, which would be the husband, like there should have been a conversation. Like that shit's not helping. Right. And
I agree.
If we want to have true empathy about the situation, we have to look at these are new drugs that have only been on the market for maybe 20 years. These things are completely rewiring human beings' brains.
Here's the problem with it, right? Here's the problem with the medical
She was
system.
this big.
Yeah, so they already knew she was on drugs. Here's the problem with the medical system, right? Medical
And they took
systems,
advantage. They took advantage of the fact that she was rich.
but
Because she was rich,
and she was,
they kept.
but she intentionally went to different doctors because they systems don't cross reference. There should be a system nationally that if you're going to be prescribed a drug that could be harmful, that could cause hallucination, there should be a system where if they go to Wash's, she go to him. Once he puts it in the system, it's a national register. She go to Precious.
I thought your medical, like your prescriptions and medicines that you're on.
No, you have to give a consent.
The system is easily you can easily play the system in the American
and that's
system.
what
Now,
she
if it was
did.
over here, you couldn't do it. It would be way harder.
You could go to different doctors, but the system, see, once I prescribed you a certain medicine, when she comes to you, Precious, as soon as you go to click it in, her name and information, it'll already show up that she's already prescribed this medication and she's not due another refill for 6 months. Ma'am, get out of my office.
Y'all got where y'all live at, because
The VA systems don't even connect like that. The
if
systems
I
don't do that.
prescribe something, if I go to the doctor and I'm prescribed something, my doctor's going to see everything that I'm prescribed.
From
True. But
them.
Precious, you're missing this. If you
tell
have the money, they have these pills they want to sell. These doctors have to. I'm sorry, not doctors, physicians. They have to offload these pills. So they might see that you're already prescribed, but you're not a patient. You're a customer. So they're not going to turn away money. You're not due a refill for 3 months. Get out my office. They're not going to do that. That's about. You get what I mean? So the health industry has turned what's supposed to be patients into customers or into addicts, essentially.
Yeah, for sure. Paid prescribed addicts through the government funding because the FCC and all that, they
Biggest
approve
drug
all this
dealers around.
dumb shit.
Yeah, that story is. I can see what you're saying, Jay, as far as being empathetic, but I again, it takes a lot for me to take ibuprofen. Like I would have to have a killer headache for me to be like, oh, let me take this.
That's good.
I feel you. I be trying to fight for Chris Benoit, so this is. I feel like I have to kind of fight for her too, because I had the same argument with men when they were so mad at Chris Benoit, and I'm like, watch this flying headbutt move that he's been doing for over the last 15 years. Like, his brain was not his brain, and so. Yeah.
What's up with him? Is he in jail?
Chris Benoit, no, he killed him. He unalived himself.
Oh, okay.
It was the same thing with Junior Seau. Junior Seau felt that he was going to do something horrible, and he took himself out. He wrote down like how he was having thoughts of doing ill things to people that he loved, and that's why he felt that he needed to go ahead and unalive himself because he didn't see that there would be actual real help for him. We have to truly understand, this is for men and women, when you are taking these kind of pills to try to get help, as a community, if we champion these people, if these people are the people that we love, we need to figure out different medications or different ways of therapy for them to fix or help. Same with someone with PTSD, somebody who the pills are not the solution at all. The pills just make everything worse.
Okay, listen, every pill has some kind of side effect on it, right? So part of the prescription for this woman, right? I understand she had a nanny. Those kids should have been taken away from her. Period.
True.
Period. I mean, she wasn't fit to raise these kids. Until she got right. And so that's one of the prescriptive things that even if it was a guy, if you have if you go to a doctor and he's giving you drugs and they have side effects and what the possible things that may happen, there's got to be some kind of a bar that says, hey, if you're taking this many drugs, you're no longer fit to raise kids.
Mm.
You know, and this way, you know, and however you do it, and however you separate the kids, I don't say put them in foster care because there's some bad things with that as well. You know, so a lot of people may have family members, and while you're going through it, if you're married, then that might be easier than a spouse who can take care of them. May have to move, may have to do a few things, but if it's about protecting the kids from a person who's drug crazed, even if they're prescription drugs, all I'm just saying, as far as this woman is concerned, and I'm gonna say it, maybe the word "I don't care" is one thing because I'm not involved. I just don't have the suicidal empathy for these people. I think they should be punished.
Yeah.
I just think they should be punished. Whatever that punishment may be, it might be a psychiatric ward. If this woman in her trial says she's not criminally she's not criminally involved because of the pills and all this stuff, but we're going to commit her for a certain period of time and all that kind of stuff, I think I'd be satisfied with it because she's not free.
Well, that I believe that's what the defense is arguing.
That's what they're arguing, yeah.
They're arguing.
But it's heinous as hell, no matter how you look at it. Right. That's what they're arguing.
Yeah,
it's not about the murder anymore. It's about whether she's competent.
And it's crazy because she plain out said, you know, I took their lives, and now the argument always was, well, should she go get the care that she needs, or should she go to jail?
Most women plan out the stuff they're gonna do to their kids. They just don't instantly just start wilding out.
She had a plan.
Yeah, most women plan that shit out. So
and that's another thing. How come the drugs didn't take away from the plan? The drug wasn't. See, her deletion wasn't chaotic. It was methodical.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's my whole thing about the theory about the drugs. You know, if there was a level of chaos evolved with that, that's one thing. The way she did it was methodical, and I'm not going to go through the strangulation, the fact that she turned the babies not facing her, and then she deliberately went up to the second floor to throw herself out to do the self-deletion thing. All that stuff is planned. You know, that is not. Yeah.
That's not so much planned. It's like on autopilot. You know, like.
Well,
like
okay,
you can be crazy and still plan.
Okay, now you're giving an extra benefit of the doubt because there's no chaos in what she did, right? Even if she was on autopilot, because she had the whole thing. Like if I put a plan together, right, 10 steps. You know, last step is I'm gonna walk up to the balcony and throw myself off after I slit my wrists, because that's what she did as well. Even if it's autopilot, it's from a script she read. It's from a script she wrote. You know what I'm saying? And once she started executing the script, she went through with it to the letter. You know, and so I'm not saying that this woman doesn't need help, but she needs to be punished. And whatever the help is, you know what? You could be helped when you're in prison, by the way. It's not like you can't be helped when you're in prison.
And then it's like, even if she goes to
psychiatric
what would they do? Lessen her medicine, but put her on something else? Like, it's just, you know, because now I mean, she's not on, I don't believe she's.
I don't think she's not going to be free. I don't think they're going to let her go.
It's like now it's okay. Well, she can't be on all those medicines, but we're gonna have to do something, because when they send you to a mental institution, they put you on something. It's not
putting you on everything.
You're not just in there trying to wean off of. You know, they put you on something. Okay, they're making sure you're taking something.
Yes.
So, you know,
every night, every day.
Even that, it's like, okay, well, should she be treated like somebody that needs to be weaned off of drugs and really put into isolation, and, you know, people cleaning up projectile throw up? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is that what needs to happen? Because it doesn't seem like the trial, is the trial over?
No,
not
yet.
No, it's not over yet. It's got to be,
So, you know, and it seems like her the defense isn't the strongest from what I've been seeing. They're not necessarily fighting for her the way that they should, not from other trial attorneys that I've seen talk about this case. They're pretty much saying like they're not even fighting a strong case for her. You know, as far as the husband, people blaming the husband and thinking that he did it. I'm not quite sure. I don't know how the roads lead back to him, and how from what I thought he was out away when this all happened. So how did he do it?
Well, she sent him away. Supposedly,
right,
she
but
sent
how
him for
there are
Aaron.
so many people saying that the husband did it.
A lot of women are saying that he did it because he had a side woman, and that they got this lifetime story in their head.
He drove
and it's truly amazing to see how far.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but they're saying that he did it because he had a side woman, but he didn't physically.
They're saying like he orchestrated it like some puppet master, and he got her hooked on the drugs, and he did. They're really trying to paint him in the picture so that again that.
Of course, it's the man who did it.
Yeah.
It's a man.
Yeah, because I keep thinking like, well, how did he do it? And they keep like, I didn't hear.
No. The women are saying that she did it. They're saying that the man
He
manipulated her to do it.
He said
right. I hear that and I understand what you're saying, but to me that's stupid. Like I don't understand.
Well, damn it, Precious, you're not along with the sisterhood. How dare you say
that's
that?
the way society push it, and
Hey,
it's the
listen,
man's fault.
Yeah, everybody on this panel, have y'all seen One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
I've heard of it.
I seen it years ago.
Now, if you've never seen that movie, you got to see it because, this goes on what happens in those kind of asylums, right? But it's an old movie. If you ever get a chance to see it, it's out there somewhere streaming, so you don't have to pay for it probably. It was a great movie. And it's sobering, very sobering.
You probably catch it on Tubi if you got Tubi.
Yeah.
Yeah, this. So, how much longer do you think that they have in this trial?
Probably 2.5 weeks at most before a verdict is reached, I would say.
So,
I can't see.
What do you think they're going to rule? What do you, based on what you've seen and what you know, how do you think that they're going to rule?
Okay, what I think is going to happen is I think she's going to get a sentence of something where it's like 20-something years, but she's going to be offered like time off after 12. I see that scenario happening if it was my world and I was able to be the judge. One, I wouldn't want her in a psych ward because again, that's not real rehabilitation. If she has a pill problem, putting her in psych and more pills is not the solution. I would yeah. But she doesn't need to be in a prison. And that's just my own personal opinion. She needs to be in
a country club.
Sabrina, she did the same thing.
I mean,
you're asking me. I think she needs to be like in a country club type prison without being on medication, but she's not getting out ever. I think that this is something where
Actually, that's not far-fetched because I don't think the jury is going to give
because I don't think that she needs to be punished for a lifetime, even though a lot of people do. I honestly believe that the cocktails that she was prescribed completely changed her from what she used to be and how she used to think. But she's already going to be living in, once she sobers up, she's going to be living in the prison of the fact of what she did. I don't think we need to put more on her because, but that's just my personal opinion. I think locked away for life, but not in a prison where she's like getting beat up on and that kind of prison. I think she needs to be in a.
That's where she needs to go.
Well, she needs special treatment anyway because she's permanently paralyzed.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Right. So that's number one. Number two, I think that the jury, right, hasn't been sequestered. So they see the thousands and thousands of women supporting her. And here's one of the things about juries. I don't care who you are. You get impacted by what you see, even if you're trying to be. So I don't know how many women are on the jury, And if there's women on a jury, the chances are, I hate to say it, chances are they're probably liberals for the most part.
For sure.
And so they identify with the women outside. So the judge himself or herself, I don't know who the judge is, had to re-interview every juror. That's going on right now to see whether he could ferret out whether they were impacted by the crowds, because they had to pass through those crowds cheering her on to get to the courtroom day in and day out. So I don't think that whatever happens, that the jury is going to be tainted by their feelings, men and women, not just women. And you know, so the only saving grace is there's a collective, and whoever's the strongest person in the jury room is going to be able to sway a lot of people. That's what I think. I'm thinking that the verdict is going to be a lot lighter than we think.
I say lock her ass up. 25 years for each child. Call it a day.
You think she's going to get 75 years?
No, I don't think so, because again, white people empathize with white people.
Let's take race out of it.
She's going to get empathize.
Nah, we can't take race out of it.
Out of it.
Let's leave race out of it.
This is a Hispanic
She's a
woman or a black
woman.
woman.
Can I finish saying what I'm saying? Let's just take race out of it first and then put it back in.
Okay.
Right? Let's just
I'll
say
take race out of it.
and then you can put it back in. But
she did something to her kids. She intentionally, if y'all would have ran down y'all son in y'all backyard and deleted him, they'd be talking about naming a new jail based off where they buried your ass. No, she committed heinous crimes on her children.
So you think she would get 75 years?
Man, I hope so. I would vote if I'm on the jury. I'm giving 75.
Okay, all right.
Because this world is full of people trying to make excuses for their dumbass decision.
Let's put race back in it.
Is it
an all-white jury where she's at?
I'm sure it's close, and like you said,
if it's half women,
yeah,
where the majority of those women are going to be liberal, she may in fact
walk.
Get
10 to 15, serve 7 years. She gonna serve less than 10 years.
I believe that as well.
Yeah, I don't think she's gonna serve a lot of time at all.
I gotta get ready to make moves, but again, I'm not seeing much of this on the news. But you guys take a that flood that hit Tibet is, it's serious, and it's from all the new pipe things that have been created. They're making these earthquakes. It's a man-made earthquake. We really don't realize that there's a different sort of war outside of missiles and stuff. And this, look at some of the footage. It looks like something that China could have done to displace Tibet. This flood truly seems man-made.
What flood you talking about? What flood you talking about again?
Look up iceberg flood Tibet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It came out of nowhere. People were literally just going about their day, and then they had a 10-minute window, maybe.
Did you see the crows? The crows got out of there.
Always follow the crows. Good Lord, right?
They know.
The crows were leaving for a whole minute and a half. If people, if you're a weirdo like me, I would have noticed that right away. And
birds can sense all that shit coming.
Yeah, they see it coming. They did.
So many people lost their lives trying to videotape it, thinking it wasn't going to be that serious.
Mm-hmm.
I would listen. China, man, these guys are diabolical, man.
They really are.
They're diabolical. China, you know why? If you got 1 billion, 2 billion people, life don't mean shit to you. If you're
COVID only happened as soon as China was getting all those crazy protests. Remember, before the COVID happened, they were having those protests in China that were getting very, very serious. People were really trying to really take it down, and then all of a sudden it's a global pandemic.
Yeah, because they let those planes fly out, and Fauci's in the middle of it. You know, that's a whole nother comment. You have any
Yes.
more videos there?
Wait. Allegedly. We got allegedly. We got.
Yeah,
I
but
didn't say allegedly.
he pleaded the fifth 850,000 times in front of Congress. So some of those things, you know what I'm saying? Forget Fauci, man. You know, forget it, man. He's gonna walk, but hey, he did it. No matter what, he did it. You know, the gain of function research. No, there's no gain of function research. It was a couple of wet.
Hey, Fauci really was doing the Dave Chappelle fifth, wasn't he? I'm waiting for somebody to make a meme or a spoof of. I'm waiting for someone to just put. He wasn't answering nothing. Is your name Anthony Fauci?
Yeah, I'm not telling you what my real name is, man. You know what I'm saying? Fauci, man. You know, golly. Yeah, we're in big trouble. Go ahead.
So, Arpin, you had sent me a video, but I believe this is the original video to the video that you sent me.
Video of this guy that said that all of his married friends have to initiate sex with their wives. Like 100% of the time they have to be the one to initiate. And he was asking women, why do women do that? Why do you always wait for your man to initiate sex? When you know how important that is to them. And okay, let me try to explain this without, I'm gonna try to explain this without offending anybody, without, you know what I'm saying, but actually just from a woman, just woman's perspective, woman's body, woman's mind. Women, sex being turned on really starts in the mind for a woman. A man is kind of always on go mode. They're always in the mood. They can
constant.
They don't have to have a mental stimulation before they're ready to go. A woman does. If a woman is stressed out, if a woman got too much on her mind, too much on her plate, she's tired, she not gonna be in the mood for that. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, sex for a woman is not the pleasure level is not on par of what y'all experience as a man. A woman's pleasure with sex is just, for the most women don't even get orgasms every time. Like how many times can you actually say your woman actually got an orgasm from your sexual interaction? Probably, I'm pretty sure it's not every time. At least not in most cases, it's not, because she probably would look forward to it a lot more. But so when you combine all of that, you combine that her mind is not stimulated, she's stressed out, and she's not getting an orgasm. It's like, well, why would she initiate it when she's really not getting anything out of it? It's really for you. She's really just she's only really having sex because you want to have sex, because that's something that she's doing for you, not for herself. So that's the reason why you have to be the one to initiate it, because it's really for you. And let's be for real, y'all. Generally speaking, heterosexual relationships do not prioritize female sexual pleasure. Like the priority is the male orgasm, the male satisfaction. So that's the reason why typically it's kind of like when y'all getting it in or whatever, it's over once he comes. And it doesn't really matter if she come or not. It's over because the priority is with his satisfaction and his pleasure. Hetero relationships are about the male sexual pleasure. And that goes across all cultures. That's not an American thing. That's not a Western, Eastern thing. That's just how it is. It's always been like a little, well, I don't know if it's always been like that. Let me not overspeak, but that's from what I've seen, and as a woman, what I've seen and listening to other women, that seems to be very much the case.
So she's a lesbian. That's what she said. Well, first of all, you know what? It's not like she has a lot of good points. And, you know, so I know what I sent you had Anton Daniels coming at the end. Yeah. So I like what she said. But the truth of the matter is, she is right from the standpoint that the sexual encounter between man and woman, the man, of course, we have a finishing point much more than women do. That's true, but that I don't even think that's a negative thing. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Now, it depends on the attentiveness of a man. Some of us, not all, maybe not enough. Part of the whole sexual thing is to get your woman off. There's a few of us out there Okay, there's a few men out there that says, listen, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and take care of her so I can do whatever the hell I want without worry. So there's those kind of guys. But as far as approaching, I think whatever you established before y'all got married is how you're gonna go into the marriage. Right? You know, and so every man is different. But I think she's right from the standpoint that probably men initiate more because we're constant. We want it all, and women have these other things. Now, if I was a married man and my wife was under stress all the time, I'd be more concerned about the stress because I'm thinking, what the hell you under stress for? I'm taking care of every goddamn thing. You know? So that's the point. The point is for guys, you don't want your woman under stress. And you need to find ways to alleviate it. Now, that doesn't mean she might approach you, but that means when you approach her, she'll be more accommodating. I understand that. You men need to understand that. You know, and I learned that lesson early on. So like I said, I don't want to disagree with, but at the end, that last second clip, she's talking about lesbianism. Because of course women will be more attentive for getting the other woman off because they both can sit down and lick each other for hours. That's not how men operate.
Wait, is that what she was talking about for real?
Yeah, the last part of that is lesbianism.
Is the male orgasm, the male satisfaction. So that's the reason why typically it's kind of like when y'all getting it in or whatever, it's over once he comes, and it doesn't really matter if she come or not. It's over because the priority is with his satisfaction and his pleasure. Right. Hetero relationships are about the male sexual pleasure. Right. And that goes across all cultures. That's not an American thing. That's not a Western, Eastern thing. That's just how it is. It's always been like a little. Well, I don't know if it's always been like that. Let me not overspeak, but that's from what I've seen, and as a woman, what I've seen, and listening to other women, that seems to be very much the case.
So when she mentioned hetero sex, the contrast has to be about same sex, because women who make love to other women, they understand that, so they're going to take time to do the licking and the scissoring and all that kind of stuff, so we could both come off. Now, in a heterosexual relationship with a woman, I'm telling you that for the most part, I would agree that if the guy's not attentive enough, he's going to get off, and there's a lot of times when the women doesn't. They don't. Right? It's just, that shit is just true. Especially if you don't know what you're doing, it's true. But if you understand that you want the honey to keep asking you back, every so often you got to blow her stack. So that means you got to wait for your turn. You know, and so it's so she's not 100% wrong. But that last part that she's talking about lesbianism.
It could be.
Because women. Yeah, so I'm not going to hate on that, but that's what she's talking about. Because men are men. We're going to blow. First of all, there's guys who blow their stack. Well, I'm going to let you go after this. Okay. If a guy has coveted a woman for a while, he finally gets it. If he ain't really that good at it, he's blowing his wad in like 5 minutes. He might be a two-pump Trump. He might be a two-pump chump. You know, and so he got to come back the second time. So, all I'm just trying to say, orgasms, so women go through some shit, but there's men who understand that they got to get the woman off first if they want to have a return engagement.
Man. Listen. Salute to the lion, the tiger, the bird, the male elephant, the male rhino, male cheetah, leopard, the male alligator. They ain't worrying about they queens and they jungle busting it up. They still can get what they get. Now, I'll say this, right? I was single, you know, and as a man, part of my pride is below our waist. Yeah. Okay. We're in a position that if we get that call We can't come over a half step. Now, I don't know if it was me, I don't know if it was just a time where guys knew that you had to perform at a high standard to get the call back. They're not calling your ass back for two pump Trump.
That's
Pump.
right.
You
That's
ain't
right.
getting that call back. So don't
That's
be
right.
mad when our pain is slipping through the back door because she know he got that hammer. And this is what the problem is. A lot of these people are talking from oversexed lives. They've been busting it down so long, they shit now it's like it's calcified down there. It ain't got that stimulation like it used to have because we've been
Coach, let me ask you a
oversexualized.
question though, Coach.
So
And not for a guy with all the prowess and the hammer that you're talking about, right? But
Yeah.
for the most part, between men and women, if we had to put up a who comes the most, women or men?
it would be men.
Of course.
It would be men because
we have a
again,
finite finishing
but
point.
listen, when the
For-
lion can get in his 3 pumps and walk away, the bird get in his 10 pumps, he gone. It raised a strong, big, healthy baby boy. Listen,
I got my baby. You get yours. Let's go get
what I'm
yours.
saying is,
That's some
people-
funny shit.
even in that, it's certain women that men will go all in for.
Oh yeah.
They go
Oh, yeah.
spoon it up. Look, after they finish, they spoon it. They lean there, listening to her work. Because, but for the most part, some women know that they the bust downs. They know.
Here's but let me
But
also
when they
ask
wake
you-
up, they like
let me ask you a
crying
question.
because the
There's a lot
nigga
of
was there.
women. So here's the thing that she didn't say. Here's the thing that she didn't say. You can't do it forever, right? Because every so often you got to get your woman off, right? But there's something about women who enjoy getting their guys off. They enjoy it, right? You know, even if they don't get their lick right at that point, that's why you have to finish the job for them at some point. You got to do it. But the fact is, some women just like pleasing their guys, or else if they didn't, more women wouldn't put up with the guys without getting orgasms, because every woman doesn't demand it every time. Every woman doesn't demand it every time. If that was the case, things would be different.
Wait, every woman doesn't demand what every time?
An orgasm every time.
Yeah, from every guy.
Does she have to demand it?
No. But
She should.
no, that's not the point I'm trying to make. I'm saying that women usually demand the shit that they want, right? So I'm saying if she has a guy that she really likes and she doesn't get the full satisfaction on every encounter, they don't make us think out of every encounter.
Well, that's
If she never got it, that's a different story.
I think in that
Well,
case,
you tell me then. I mean, you're the woman.
well, yeah, I think that in that case, that woman really likes that man because
That's what I'm saying.
right,
Yes.
but it still doesn't negate the fact that she doesn't reach that point either. She just will, like you said, it'll be looked over because she enjoys.
But there's a clock on it. He has to prove to her at least
and
once or
then
twice that he knows how to.
He's compensating for that. I think that a lot of men are, like you said, Coach Ferg, it's a pride thing, and I think that in our opinion, you do it a lot on the panel. You don't big up yourself. It's like, oh, I don't know how I got lucky, or I don't know how this happened, and I don't know how that happened. Like, I think that guys don't. I don't know. When it comes to that, I think you guys don't. There are some guys who just think they the best thing since sliced bread, and they're not. But then there are guys who are like, you know what? I don't know. I may not be the best, or you don't know how that woman is receiving you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't know what she thinks about you. She could think the highest of the high of you, but you're not thinking that way. And so the connection is off a little bit, and it because the feelings or the thoughts towards each other or oneself is not there, that throws it off as well. I don't think a lot of people go into. I don't think a lot of people are. Women think one thing, men think another thing.
Of course.
You go in and you're already off. Like you're not on the same.
Precious. You know why? You know why they ain't on the same plan? Because most people are not going into it with any intention in having sex. They're not looking to build that emotional growth with each other. They
Who's
just
not
looking
going in looking? You talking
men
about
or women. These future people, both sides are saying, listen, we don't want marriage. Okay, cool. One thing niggas gonna do is have sex. I don't care what nobody says.
Okay, so
they
they
gonna
are
have,
going
hold up.
they're all going
Listen, birth rates and marriage rates are going down,
Yeah, but not the sex rate.
STDs are going up. So people are gonna have sex, and it doesn't matter. The catch-22 that women put themselves in is you can't, if she give you that call, you can't come over and half step it.
Yo.
Because guess what? If she don't get that orgasm from you, the next man or the next man, she gonna call the man. But by that,
you're right though, man. But the vast majority, you think the vast majority of men who are having sex with these women are giving them orgasm?
no, because most dudes are just lucky to get it. But they pounding their damn ovaries so early in life. Everybody's pounding that shit.
But the point of this whole conversation is whether the woman's getting an orgasm.
I know.
The vast majority of sexual encounters with men for women.
Most women don't know themselves. They don't study. They just fucking out here early and often.
But that's beside the point. The vast majority of women are not getting. The vast majority of women are not getting orgasms, and I'm saying that that's not why they're not going back to the guy, because a lot of them still do. So all I'm just trying to say is that for a woman who doesn't get an orgasm, if she comes back, with she's giving you another chance.
She's got to be hitting that shit right.
I'm saying that.
Most dudes ain't hitting it right. If he's hitting it right, you get the call.
Listen, as long as it's still your chance.
Man, you only get one chance.
No, that's not true. You
Man,
gotta
only give you one chance.
You gotta come through at least once. When a woman, if a woman finds that you can give her an orgasm, you got another chance. Well, no.
But that's gonna take two. Women ain't gonna wait that long.
No, that's not true at all.
Man, if you can't knock it down the first time, they're not calling you back.
That's not necessarily true at all.
Unless you got money.
Or she likes you.
That's if she's just a hoe.
She can like you. She can like you, but if she give up her body to you and you don't make her wiggle, she's not calling you back.
You're not listening to what I'm saying because you want to be right. I'm saying if a woman likes you, you might get more than one chance. The point is, if she's just a ratchet hoe, you shouldn't have been stroking her in the first place. The vast majority of guys, even with their girlfriends, ain't giving them the orgasm they want.
Right.
What they want to know is if you're capable of it. And so if you're a smart guy, at some point in your encounter with this woman, you better get her ass off. And that'll buy you the time you need. So all I'm just trying to say is if you don't succeed the first time, you get a second or third chance. So maybe, I don't think she was completely satisfied. That's why the man said, well, how was I? And I'm just saying, listen, I'm not talking about hoes. I'm talking about girls.
I'm talking about respectful women, millionaire chicks. Chicks with big money. You don't knock them down.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but more than one thing could be true at the same time.
No, they are true, but the women of today are different than women of yesterday.
No, fuck the women of today. Women are women.
Man, listen, they'll let you know. Women they'll let you know. You ain't gonna get 2 or 3 times. You perform the first time.
First
you ain't gonna get no second chance.
I disagree with you 100%.
She can like you today. She get you in bed. She be like, I don't even like that nigga no more.
Women won't give you another chance.
He become breaks. He gotta get some breaks now.
Listen, that's not every woman, and I'm not telling all you guys out there. Yeah, you want to put your best foot forward. Sometimes you'll fall short. Sometimes you won't. But if a woman likes you, you may get a second chance and you better perform. And then you need to make sure that once you get a woman off once, then you're in there. If it's the first time, great. If it's not, because most men are. Let me tell
you only getting 2 chances out paying at most. Two at most.
Well, shit, that's all you need.
But these women are moving. But listen, but in between your second time, she got somebody else that can do exactly what she needs. She ain't calling.
She's going to another guy who left her short too.
She ain't calling you, but you can't say that.
Well, she gets to a guy.
Most women got 3 to 4 guys on their roster.
Yeah, most women don't have 3 to 4 guys.
Most single women got 3 or 4 dudes. One dude is go get the brakes done. One dude is go cut the grass, and one dude is coming over and knocking it down.
We're talking about guys who get in the gusto.
But still, those guys.
If you have a woman who's stroking 5 or 6 guys at a time, what do you care whether you give the chick a orgasm or not? If you got a woman who's out there in the street just fucking Tom, Dick, and Harry, you really care if she gets an orgasm?
But that's what I'm saying. Most
you're not saying
most people are just going to have sex. They're not even worrying about it. She's not worrying about it.
Why would I give a shit about giving a woman I'm just having sex with an orgasm?
But that's where we are. That's what we're saying.
No, that's not.
Most people are just out here busting it open. They're not worrying about the orgasm.
They're not caring about the orgasm. That's right.
They just go have sex.
So we're not talking at the same level. I'm talking about a woman you want to see more than once.
Right. And this video was talking about wives. It wasn't talking about just random chicks having sex.
Yeah, she's talking about wives.
She ain't even married.
No, she's not married, and she's a lesbian.
So how can she talk about wives though?
But she's talking about the level of. She's talking about the level of relationships, because there are a lot of men in marriages who leave their wives unsatisfied.
According to who though?
The wives.
According to what the women say, right?
Well, hold
up. So if a woman's husband. So hold up. If women are saying this right, and a woman's husband is not doing that, she's getting. If a woman comes out and say that to the public, 9 times out of 10, she gonna get dick down somewhere else. She ain't gonna just say that and just own it and keep it bottled up. She gonna go to Jamaica. She gonna go on a girls trip. She gonna go somewhere to get that hammer. Come on, man.
Or she's going to have a conversation with her husband and say, listen, I need you to do A, B, or C. And so I could get off. That's what I'm saying. So
you said that shit 5 times. He couldn't stand up.
You can't be that jaundiced about all women. So listen, we're talking about married women. Why marry me if you're just going to be a goddamn hoe?
But
I'm just saying that most men, if you're not satisfying your woman at all in your relationship,
she's gonna let you know early.
She gonna let you know early. The key. If she lets you know, then you should do something about it.
Women will let you know. But what I'm saying,
then you should do something about it.
Right, but women gonna let you know early. They don't go through this whole these modern people say, they suffer for years. Granddaddy was knocking grandmama down. That's why grandmama had 13 kids. These modern women.
You think she had an orgasm with all 13 kids?
No, but I bet she had. I bet she had about several in between.
You think those old fucking guys?
I bet she had several in between. These women are saying never.
Let me tell you, back in the 1900s, those guys were laying them down, banging them out in 2 pumps, and get the fuck out of here.
Okay, and guess what?
The only thing when a woman's orgasm is the modern era. It's the modern era where they start
claiming that they ain't having
that. They started after the pill came out and say, you know what? I'm not getting the full range of everything I can by giving this box up. You think the guys in 1940 was worrying about a woman's orgasm? Get the hell out of here.
Why do you think they lying about not having an orgasm? Like, why would a woman lie about that? That's scientifically proven in numbers that women do not orgasm as much as men do. That's just a proven just
Oh,
based on our biology.
And that doesn't mean they leaving those guys either. Just because of that.
But again, we talking about modern. In true reality, no. A man give us 15 pumps, 20 pumps, we can put it anywhere. A nigga will screw a cat if it had a skirt on.
Let's get back on
So yeah,
the female
that'll happen. As far as if you with a person, right? Yeah. If you having sex often, as people claim or don't claim, yeah, you know, most women don't go into having sex with a nigga just to get an orgasm. Most women are not calling the dude over the house just to get an orgasm. She's just a little horny.
You don't think a woman's expectation is to have an orgasm?
No, because like you said, if our expectation was, people would be relaying this instead of just busting it open and then complaining out to the.
You have a point.
You got to come over our pain. So
You have
like
a
you
point.
said,
I'm saying you got a point.
If you
But
get invited over, listen. If somebody get invited tonight, and that expectation is there, right? And he doesn't fulfill. He doesn't talk shit because man, we talk shit with what we want for 2 weeks.
Let's
So he don't. So now she call him. He come over there.
Right.
And he don't perform expectation. One, before he get to his car, she done already called Precious. Girl, he ain't shit. Hold up. But she's not calling him back.
Chick, but this
She's not
woman on
calling
the
him back.
video was talking about a wife.
She's not calling him back.
She's not. Yo, you were talking about the random.
But even a wife, to get to a wife,
your wife is gonna call somebody and say, "This my husband ain't shit."
So if you already married, that's different. But people got to get to that.
You think wives don't deserve orgasms?
No. So if you already married, there should be conversations
No, I'm
regularly.
trying to stick with the video. If we're talking
That's
about
what-
random
you
chicks,
said she was lesbian.
No, but she's talking about married couples first.
But she's if she
the
ain't married,
point I'm
man.
just trying to say is, if you're talking about random chicks, nobody gives a shit whether the chick has an orgasm or not.
Even
If you're
married,
talking
most
about
men are
random
just
street-
not.
If you're talking about random street chicks, why am I going to worry about whether this chick has an orgasm or not?
So you think most married men, because y'all like to put race in, white people don't
Forget
care.
about race. This is just talking about being
most,
married.
so you saying most niggas in the marriage today just getting their little nut and leaving their wife
I'm
hanging?
saying that if a man is married, his obligation is at some point to make sure his wife has an orgasm.
Yes, at some point.
Okay, if
Every
you
time.
if you listen, it's not gonna be every time.
You should know her positions and know
It's
her.
not gonna be every
You should know her
fucking
spots.
time
I
because
didn't
some
say
men
every
just
time.
wanna-
If
So
it's
I'm
4
saying-
times, at least 3 out of the 4.
Well, I don't care how many times it is. She just needs to know that you can do it. She just needs to know that you can do it. That's it. And she'll give you grace about all the other times where you just horny, and she'll get you off and get the freak out of my face, And then, but as long as she know at some point you're gonna give her the coup de grace, then that's cool for most wives.
And I think most wives probably would want their husband to be interested in them being satisfied in the bedroom.
Exactly.
Husbands are satisfied.
Exactly.
And it really don't take much for y'all. So,
That's right.
it's like, why not try to achieve that? Why? I do
Thank you,
agree with
Precious.
Coach Bird.
But women, go ahead, Fred.
Yeah, what you trying to say, Coach? Why are you arguing about this?
But
You're
women are not
married.
saying what Precious is saying.
We're not
Women are saying
talking about
things.
women. We're talking
Even
about
married
wives.
women. The married women that even come out and say that.
They say, what they saying? What the married women saying? What they saying?
If they coming out and saying, because again, most women not having orgasm.
Forget about fucking most women.
As it
Let's
seems
talk about
today,
married women.
in a marriage today, most men are miserable and most women are not getting sexually satisfied.
Oh, that's what we just talked about. So if you're a husband, is it your duty to find a way to sexually satisfy your wife or not?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, that's what we're talking
Before we
about.
get to the bedroom, though, see, that's when people in the
What you mean
bedroom
before
is
we get to the bedroom. What are you
because
talking
because there's moments through conversation, through touch, through just interactions that could turn her on and set the booty up right. If I'm we get into bed and we just methodical and I just Most people ain't gonna be turned on by that shit.
Well, but you're moving the goalposts. We're
No,
talking
that's
about
what what she's talking about in the video is that men's pleasure comes from a little bit of seed of selfishness only because it's your nature. So it's not being held against you, but it's also like, okay, we know this is your nature, but at the same time, our nature is not like that. And if we're one, then there are times where I'm probably going to have to bow to your nature and you have to bow to my nature. Like, you know what I mean? We're going to have to do this give and take type of dance here. And so it is both parties' responsibility to make sure that the other person is satisfied. If you're not going to open your mouth or if you're not going to be honest about that, then yes, people are going to go outside the marriage. They're going to have their side, their pieces and do whatever they do. But even before sex, you have to be comfortable having these conversations because marriage to me is forever. So if we're going to be in this forever, I already know.
So the only point
we've been doing we can't survive off of that.
So the only point I'm trying to make is that if you're in a healthy marriage, that most women, I believe, will give you grace if y'all have sex and she doesn't come off, as long as she knows that there's going to be some encounters where you can get her off. She might not say every time because she knows that the time and the effort. Some women, listen, some women are orgasmic as hell, and some women you got to go through all kinds of, you got to cross the burning sands and do all kinds of bullshit to get them off. And so you got to be willing to do that at least once or twice. You know, and so if they know you can do it, you can get grace between sometimes every so often you come back and get her off and all that kind of stuff. But if you never get your wife off, then that's a deficit.
And women have to know their bodies too. I mean that is the battle.
And that's the only point I'm making. That's the only point I'm making. You know, if you're a random chick on the street, why would I give a shit whether she comes or not? I don't care. I'm gonna do my best. If you come off, I got mine, baby. Did you get yours? That's how it is on the street. But in the bedroom, if you want a long-term marriage, every so often you gotta see a woman's leg shake. You know, and that kind of shit. You know, and then every so often you don't want to go to that. Sometimes I just want to lay back, you know, I'll get you on the rebound, honey. You know, just hook me up. I gotta go on. I got a couple of meetings out there. I don't want to see these people. I just want to be satiated.
Well,
you know,
according to the loudmouth people who ain't married and all that, they're clean and assume that all marriages are sexless and people are miserable.
But they're right about a lot of marriages. Well, that part of it is true. There's a lot of
don't stay in stuff they don't want to.
But a lot of that is true. There's a lot of sexless marriage. That's only because the man has allowed it to happen.
He's having sex with somebody. People and then the problem of all this sexual prowess.
We ain't talking about
marriage itself is sexless.
We're talking about the marriage itself. It doesn't matter what else he's doing
I
out
don't know
there.
too many people like that in my
Well,
community.
you don't know, but that's good that you don't know marriage. They might not tell you, but the truth of the matter is, sexless marriage, the fact whether one person is cheating
At
on the other
60,
person,
yeah, I can get with it. At 35, 40, 50, no, these people are busting it open. Somebody's getting it.
But you're adding stuff to it. We're talking about within the marriage.
Most people
We're
ain't
talking about
crying.
within the marriage. If your wife or your husband, if your wife doesn't want to have sex with you and you're in your 30s, you got a bad marriage.
Yeah, get out of it. Get out of it.
You got to
stay in it. That's your fault.
I think I forget their names, but we back in the day we did a show on the men's. It was a men's panel, and I actually follow the woman. She was on Karamo's show. It was a black couple. And he was talking about how before they were married, you know, she was pretty much hanging from the chandelier. She was hanging from the chandelier.
Yeah.
But they also were not living together. They were, you know, living and seeing each other every now and again, or often, I should say. And then when they got married, it changed. Her sex drive wasn't. It wasn't given the same story that it was giving when they weren't married. Long story short, they got a divorce. They actually they've been on a TV show now, advertising because they're going through this reality show talking about it. But they've been talking about it on the Karamo show.
Did they have kids?
Yes, they do have kids.
Yeah, listen. When you know, listen. I can think about that. I'm sorry for cutting you off. Women, they say women change once you get married, but I kind of understand a little bit of that because women internalize the responsibilities. When you're just dating, there's no responsibility there. You're free. You're having sex. You get married. There's obligations. There's things that expectations. He might have changed a little bit about his expectations, and she might have. And you know, and maybe it was just the marriage itself, but you know, those just subtle things. Who knows what happened? All I know is that whatever libido she had before they got married somehow got turned off by whether she accomplished the goal of being married, as opposed. And then, okay, now I did everything to be married. Now that I'm here, I don't have to do the things I did before. That shit happens to men all the time.
And women, you know, women's brains. I mean, we just was talking about Lindsay. She was on a lot of prescription drugs. However, when a woman has kids, her brain does change.
Well, let's just say I don't think it was the kids, right? He said he didn't say anything about the kids. He said she just changed. You know, so I think her goal might have just been to be married. And now that I gave him enough box to have him ask me to marry him. Now that I'm in it, I got access to his whatever and all this other stuff. Now I don't have to do what I did before. That's part of it. I think that might be part of it. Yeah. That's why I say men are constant, because he still wanted to have sex the way they used to. And she didn't.
Yeah, but he's gonna want to have sex regardless, whether it's how they.
No, what I'm saying, but well, wait a minute. But she's the one who changed.
Well, did she change, or was there distance in between them? And
no, what's the distance? If they got married, they're supposed to be closer.
Right.
Right, that's what you would expect.
That's she changed. Now that she got the guy on the hook.
When you're around someone more,
she got him on the hook, and she didn't think she was obligated to him anymore. She gave him all the sex he wanted for him to say, "Oh man, this is the one for me." And once he married her, she changed the script.
Right, but I think that needs to be discussed as well because when you are away from someone, they say that the heart grows fonder. Right? So when you're away, that's the difference between men and women, because I don't understand when you're away from someone.
I know, I agree with you.
It's different than when you're next to somebody every single day and they want to hump your leg every single day. A woman gets the excitement of, oh my God, I'm about to go see him.
So then he made a mistake because they had a long distance relationship?
Say that one more time.
They had a long distance relationship?
Right, they had a long distance relationship before they got married. And then they got married.
Okay, so he misread, he misread her excitement. And that's easy to do. So now that we're in the same house, since I can't miss you, you ain't getting the box no more? Come on.
No. I think that all variables need to be weighed, right? It's not that he was misreading the excitement, because the excitement was real. But now when you're living together,
it was real because they were at a distance.
What kind of excitement are we now bringing into this?
So what you're telling me was a false flag.
No.
For him, he didn't care whether she was a mile away or 2 miles. For her, though, it was, I'm seeing him on an irregular basis because we have a distance. For him, if she was down the block, he would have still been banging it out the way he's banging it out. But for her, she was excited because it's every so often when we get together. And so now they got married. For him, it's like I'm excited about this woman. I want to have sex with her every day because I didn't care what the distance was. I wanted her. But for her, it's now that we're together, I want to start pacing this shit out because we only saw each other every other month.
I think that, like you said, for a man, if you down the street, if you are an hour away,
if you
on him, he's going to expect it no matter what.
Yes. So he misread why she was excited to see him.
But men don't take in the consideration of the recalibration that happens when you're away from him.
You're such a woman.
With him every single day.
You're such a woman, and that's a good thing. And that's a good thing.
Born this way.
And that's exactly what I'm saying.
But that needs to. Are you saying that there doesn't need to be a conversation like?
What I'm saying is he misread her excitement for him because it was for her. For her, it was the fact that he misread her excitement for him because part of her excitement was that he's not on me every day. I only see him maybe once every other week, every other month. And so that encounter is let me finish. Let me just finish. So he's thinking that he's going to get that because he's not thinking that her part was the distance makes me excited because I'm only seeing them once in a while. To him, that once in a while is like every day.
But most men
ain't gonna pick up on that.
No,
most men ain't gonna pick up on that.
Misreading her excitement. No, he's misreading the reality of the
Well, no, he's not. That's a natural misreading. She didn't offer to. She didn't tell him. She didn't say, "Listen, the reason why I'm excited to see you is because I don't see your ass, but every once every 2 weeks."
Is that it? Do we not?
It's not going to be a conversation. A woman ain't going to come to him and say, "Listen, Boris, you know the reason why you get in this box every time I see you is because I only see you once every month because I live long distance." He's thinking she's going to feel that way every day.
He shouldn't think that.
No, that's not how men think. No, come on.
I know that's not how y'all think.
Why should he think that once we get together?
Because you're not having.
I finally have you in my proximity. That means I can't. All of a sudden, I can't get the box, but once a month. Get out of here.
I don't think that it should be once a month. But
whatever the time frame it was.
Be realistic, and you're a man, so you're not going to see it from a woman's perspective. You know what, Precious? You know how disingenuous that is because women never see shit from a man's perspective. I'm not saying that that's right either, but I'm just saying that you have to take the reality of the situation into consideration. That's
okay. I'm not. I don't disagree with what you.
You're going to consider the fact that I was only seeing you once a month. So yes.
Yeah. You know what? And I wish I would have known that my box is going to be limited to whatever your schedule is before we got married, because maybe I wouldn't have married.
That it should be limited like that. I'm saying that the consideration of the time that.
No, I agree with you, but I wish I would have found that shit out before I said I do.
Look, you should have found it out. Hey, I don't know.
Yeah,
I got to be at work in the morning, so I appreciate you for joining the panel. But let us know what you got to offer, and then we're gonna get up out of here.
Oh yeah, you can't leave now. We on a good one. What's going on, Aaron? What's happening, man? What's up, man? I ain't seen you
right now.
No, doing well. I'll be brief. So women don't return because of an orgasm. They return because sex causes them to release oxytocin, which is the love hormone that makes them feel attached. Men have post-nut clarity where we're bonkers before the nut. Women is the inverse. Their clarity comes before the nut, or before sex. They get bonkers afterwards. It's the oxytocin that gets released. That's why they're crazy after you have sex with them. That's what brings them back, not the orgasm. Now, the man's orgasm, the reason why
we focus so much on it is because it's the most important orgasm. Without it, we wouldn't be able to procreate, right? That's the purpose of the man's orgasm, is to inseminate the woman. A woman's orgasm does nothing except give her a good time. However, you also got to remember the woman is the only creature on the planet between men and women that has a body part that its sole purpose is to facilitate sexual arousal and orgasm. That's it. Only thing that it does, and it's called the clit. So hone in and focus on that if you want your woman to come all the time, but it's not the orgasm. Bring us back to oxytocin. That's it in a nutshell.
Beautifully said. And like you said, we are the only species that has that organ that is strictly for pleasure. And the fact that women aren't getting pleasure from organ that is strictly made for sex should
but you know,
okay, it should. It shouldn't just be, oh well, you know, I want it and you're here and you should be giving it to me because you're here. It's no. How can we make an environment that is conducive and pleasurable for both of us? I don't think that's too hard to ask. Do you?
No, it's not. You know, and there's absolutely some men who understand that. There's some men who understand it, but most don't.
Yeah, and I said it right. If you find that G spot, that spot, you wear that motherfucker out.
I don't know about all that. See,
and you make her think about you while she's at work, driving home, at the grocery store, dropping slow kids off. Find that spot, and she'll let you know. Most women have no problem.
You know, there's some names for it, but like there's the clit is on the outside, but the whole membrane runs around on the inside. So you got to know that there's some penetration that can stimulate that part of it that's inside there.
The nerve conduit runs along the roof of the vagina and that terminates at the clitoris. That's where the 10,000 nerve endings end, but the G spot is around the roof and it goes along the top, kind of like an electric cord.
So you got to know how to. You got a variable of speed. Make sure it's there.
And on that note, guys, it's been a great live. I'm glad that everyone came in. Thank you so much, anatomy. Y'all got women. Go to your women now, okay?
Right in the bedroom, right there. Hey, honey, wake up! Hey, honey, wake up! I'm coming. I'm coming, Martha. I'm coming.
Yeah, go to your woman because this is right now. All right, and be real with yourself so you can be real with others. I'll see y'all next week. All right, all right. Y'all have a good one. Take it easy.